How y'all doing? This is Riley, and we are here with Tavern Tales once again.
Hey everybody, it's Crusale, and I'm back voice acting, I guess.
Yeah, today we are going out on the tale of the Sacred Shrine, and we're gonna be meeting our third and final character in the cast, Kaana. Who is Kaana?
Kaana Nylva is a Genasi, meaning that she is the offspring of a mortal parent and an elemental of a sort of a jinn or an ifrit.
It's one of the genies, but they have different names for each one, right?
Yeah,
genies and air. Ifrit is like fire.
Yeah, ifrit is fire. I forget what the earth and water ones are called.
I want to know now.
Yeah, but yeah, she is the daughter of a jinn. She's an air Genasi. She's also she's a career criminal who has taken on the role of an assassin. Though she's not out just for whatever purpose. She's not trying to put herself in a position to degrade how Kale and Tucker look at her. She's just, she's a killer, and she accepts that.
It's what she does.
Yeah.
But she does it for her own reasons. She doesn't just kill randomly.
Yeah. A killer with principles, I guess. More like a merc, more of a mercenary. I mean, they're all mercenaries technically, but.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So it looks like for those genies, we've got the Tao, which are the Earth genies.
The greedy Tao, yeah, I remember that now.
We've got the genie, or the Jinni. We've got the Afridi, and the Merid.
Huh.
That's Kana's dad right there.
Oh no! She's the daughter of a jinn, of a genie.
I thought she was water.
Air Genasi.
Oh, okay, much better.
Yeah.
Because the Merid is this big, ugly, fish-looking guy.
Yeah, that's not the...
See, I pictured her as, like, pretty-looking, classic femme fatale kind of looking gal.
Yes, and I do actually have a mini for her now. I
nice.
splurged and got it.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Yes.
Can't wait to see her get all painted.
I might actually post a picture of that.
Yeah. We should do that. We should start putting in, if we have actual minis or anything, we should take a picture and load them up.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. So, we have started doing, in between last time and this time, we're going to start doing a little bit of downtime stuff between each session. Wizards of the Coast released their kind of extra rules for downtime stuff to supplement what they already have out. So I thought we would give those a try. So, after our last session, heroes all got a nice night of sleep, and Tuckra went to go check on Ferdinand the cow that he saved back on the Green Mansion, and he asked about those landmarks he'd found in that book from one of the Green servants, from Mistress Green. She doesn't actually know what those landmarks are, because they are the human names for the places.
Ah.
She would know if you had the natural names, the actual names. Tucker would also, just from knowing the natural names, Tucker would have a good chance of knowing where it is. Because those are
iconic druidic locations?
They're not iconic druidic locations, but the druidic naming scheme for places is very literal.
Okay.
So, like, it would sound really cool in druidic because it would be some cool sounding word, but it would basically translate to wooded place with 96% Douglas firs, 4% oak trees, 2% this, spread at approximately 5 meters apart per tree.
So much said with just one word.
They were masters of communication, the old druids.
Huh. All right.
Nobody ever understood them because they were so good at it, but... Alright, so... She actually tells him to go find Rorgar. Because back when she was alive, Rorgar was basically the best woodsman around. He knew every place in maybe like a 10, 20-day radius around the town. He'd be able to find it for you. So if you take him those place names, he'll find the places.
All right.
Kale has been approached by several people. Some of them are just people who had heard his story the night before in the tavern. Other people had had heard tales about it and wanted to hear it themselves. Other people were just like, whoa, who are you? And started asking him questions. They asked questions about where he was from, what he used to do, how he came about to be in this area. And what sorts of things did he tell him?
Yeah, he okay, so he explained about his career as a gladiator. But he avoided any real personal details. He didn't want to talk about being bought into that kind of life. He didn't want to talk about how he got out of that life either.
Yeah. So he kept the details vague. Didn't give like where he was a gladiator. Didn't give how long he's been traveling. How long it's been since he was a gladiator.
Yeah,
but he gave those few details.
Yeah, talked about some of his more glorious fights, that kind of thing. Also explained a little bit, or came up with an explanation for his
facial stuff.
His facial. I don't want to. He calls them tattoos to throw off, and he actually describes it as a gladiator's brand.
Yeah,
a way to make himself look more intimidating. Just you scar yourself up and then paint over it or add something to pigment the skin.
You add ink to the scars to make it like heal strangely and look like it's moving. That sort of crazy thing.
Yeah. So every time every time blood is delivered to that part of his face, it actually causes it to move a little bit because it's just blood pumping through the scar.
Mm-hmm. Man, that's badass.
Well, that's his ploy, is that he's trying to sound badass, and he actually asks them, "Is it working?"
So as people are asking those questions, some people kind of like ask a couple questions and then melt off into the background, disappear. Other people are genuinely interested and chit chat with him for a long time. So he's pretty held up. He's having a good time talking, showing off. He's a gladiator. He likes showing off. So that's what he does in the morning. Kaana, since she got into town right after Kale actually left to go for the Twisted Tower in the first episode. And she's been looking around, talking to merchants, finding out what she needs to do to start a business. She went and she spoke to the mayor Jorgus, who he let her know there's a few different ways she could do it, but he really heavily suggested that she either goes to help clear out this old farm that was a few years ago assaulted and taken over by goblins and hobgoblins, or she opens up or buys a place and builds a place outside of town, kind of off the road and away from the town. This is because Jorgus he's not the most welcoming of people, and he's very anti-magic, very anti kind of non-humans, but he's also dedicated to freedom and equality. He would die before he would take away someone's right to do something, but he will hate your guts if you're a mage or cast magic or anything like that.
Explains why Leopold lives so far away from town.
But he was allowed to live there.
Huh.
He had the option. He just took the very peaceful and nice way of saying, you know what, I'll build a tower off that way. I won't be here in town. So, good guy, kind of a jerk, but good guy.
Stands by his principles, but is not going to interfere with another person's life over those principles.
Yes, he believes a person's individual rights end where another person's begins. So as long as you're not stepping on someone else, you are free to do whatever you want.
All right.
So she, hearing that, she decided, as you told me, later on they're going to go clear out that farm, figuring low costs. They already have a built place. They get the deed from it. They'll probably get whatever the goblins have brought there, and it's relatively nearby. It's maybe a few, like a half a day's travel away from old Jean's farm.
Okay.
And there's like not a knight's outpost, not even a police outpost. A tough guy lives nearby.
Oh, okay.
It's a small town. They don't really have police. They kind of police themselves. So they trust their big burly guys.
They have a night watch.
Yeah, kind of. That kind of thing. But they haven't been doing too much. The goblins haven't been really interfering too much, so that shouldn't be a big problem. It seems like that could wait. She's also made contact with a few merchants. One of them she recognized the name. He is Fernando Disla, is his name.
Fernando.
But she doesn't know him, but the Dieslas are a well-known merchant family from further out to the east. So she recognizes him, and she knows that he has connections, so she thinks she should get close to him at some point. She hasn't made any moves towards that yet because she wants to become more established before kind of trying to make those kinds of big political mores.
All right.
So that's where we are with our downtime stuff, and we get to the real meat of today, which is Kaana is going to go on a mission to make a little bit of money. She's going to go with a group of crusaders for the supreme being Ignobilis to reclaim a shrine that was lost to the woods. She's going to meet these people in the morning. Does she have anything she'd like to do before going out to meet them?
Yeah. Well, they've been staying at the inn. I mean, Hadron was nice enough to give them free room and board. I don't know if it's become obvious yet, but she and Kale are actually together. They're an item. So they actually, they share a room. Tucker has his own space because he also kind of needs the space.
Yeah.
He's a little too big to share a room. But so when they come out for breakfast, Tucker actually presents her with the cold iron dagger that he got from the torture room in the Geistmans, knowing that she is much more about them knives than he is. And Kale, in turn, presents Tucker with the Roman staff that he got from the Twisted Tower, pieces of it, and is hoping that Tucker can repair it, though Tucker, at his current level, will not be able to, I know. No. But maybe the Lady Green will be able to, if he was to present the pieces to her, because also you gave me the card for it. Sounds like it would actually be in her interest for him to have it.
Oh, yeah.
But once they've actually brought all that stuff together, Kale's going to speak up first, and he's just going to ask around. So, what's the plan for today? Anything we got going on, or are we actually going to just mill around, get used to the town? And Kaana's going to reply, well, I actually already have something in mind. Took up a contract. I'm gonna be out of town for a few days, so I'd actually like you boys to take care of some stuff while I'm gone. And Tucker's just gonna grunt because he's kind of used to kind of being the take charge one. He'll just do what she says. Kale just smiles.
Yeah.
And so Kaana explains. Okay, Kale, I need you to go and collect supplies. There is actually some prime real estate around here, and the only issue is a bit of a pest problem in the form of goblinoids. So, I want you to gather up enough gear for us to go and take care of that. I've been reassured that once the goblins are cleared out, the land is ours. We can use it to actually set up a camp here, set up a business, actually become, the Outcasts for hire. And Kale loves the idea of going out and taking care of some goblins. He's all about them heroics. Loves tacking on a story to his grand, albeit bloody past. And then Kaana's going to turn to Tucker, and she's going to say, Tucker, I need you to go and gather some information. And for the most part, actually, I just need you to make sure that we know exactly what is going on in that area, what exactly we're sized up against. If you have to do some field work yourself, fine. Just talk around. Maybe I've heard that there's a pretty darn good woodsman in the area by the name of Rorgar. Maybe you can go talk to him. Maybe he can help you out too.
Does Kale have anything to say when he hears about Rorgar?
He's gonna turn to him and just say, I think you two will get along well. You're both men of few words. Tucker's going to look at him and just say, all right. Sounds like something I can do. He's playing off because he doesn't actually want to start divulging the Lady Green secret to everybody, so he's kind of playing off that she already told him to go talk to Rorgar.
Oh, okay.
So it's two birds with one stone.
Yeah.
So Rorgar is going to say he's going to get up from his kneeling position because he sits Seiza when he's with them at table for
wow.
a meal because discipline, for one, and two, it's actually more comfortable for him than sitting cross-legged, hurts his back for a long period of time. And yeah, he gets shifts his legs out because even his discipline doesn't keep his legs from falling asleep after a while. And he says, "Well, I'll get moving then. Yeah, it'll be nice to actually have something to do." And Kale is going to get up with him, and he's just going to take Kaana's hand and say, "You be careful out there, all right?" And Kaana's just going to look up. She's not really one to show her affection for Kale in public, but she's just going to smile and just say, "Yeah, I don't think I'm the one you need to worry about." And Kale is just going to smile at that because he's a caring guy, mostly thanks to great. Now I'm forgetting her name too.
Seraphina.
Seraphina, yes, Seraphina. Yeah. Seraphina's she's always told him how to treat people right. So, and he cares. He actually does care a lot about Kaana. She helped him out a lot when she knows about his past. She's one of the reasons why he was able to get out of his past.
All right.
She gave him an out when everybody was out to get him.
See, that makes me imagine this is even more sweet that they have kind of a subdued sort of quiet relationship. Because I imagine Seraphina's just constantly in the background like, "Come on, do it, have kids, come on, dude."
Yeah, no, Seraphina is that she's like that.
She's constantly a matchmaker.
Yeah, she's like that overbearing mother who's always telling. I imagine the. Pardon the stereotyping, but I imagine the overbearing Hispanic mother who's always saying to her daughter, "You got to go and get a man and get yourself some kids." Yeah, kind of thing, or
like that, like the old Jewish mom who's like, "When am I gonna have some kids?
Grandchildren, come on." Or the Greek mother. I just think of my big fat Greek wedding.
So we're listing a lot of places. So I guess it's just everywhere's mothers.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, yeah, actually, I guess we're not being stereotypical.
Overbearing mothers.
Overbearing mothers. Yeah, but some of the more fun ones come from different cultures than our own, I think.
Leads more fun to voice.
Yes.
All right. So that's a good start. That's a good start for the day. Does Kaana go directly to meet up with the Crusaders, or does she tour around town? Does she spend a little time eating breakfast?
She's going to test out the knife first, see exactly how it feels in her hand, that kind of thing. Okay. Considering that she's an heir Genasi, most knives will come pretty easily to her. It's just a light weapon that kind of just flits around in her hand.
She can she's had it for like a couple seconds. She's already flipping it around through her fingers.
I think of the Chronicles of Riddick, where Vin Diesel is spinning that dagger and says it's just a kilogram too heavy in the hilt.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, she's also going to stop to touch up her makeup. And no, I'm not being.
No, she's in disguise.
Exactly.
She's got light blue skin. She's got to cover up with something.
So yeah, I don't think we mentioned that yet. But yeah, Kaana, because of her heritage, she actually does have blue skin and white hair, and so she actually she'll use her her proficiency with a disguise kit to actually mask her skin, so that she wears full leather body armor, and gloves, usually to cover most of her skin, because most people, when they see a Genasi, will think that they've got an in on how to get free wishes, or will try to take advantage of the fact that they are magical.
Sometimes they'll get captured, they'll get sold, they'll get all sorts of stuff.
They're also a novelty because they're extremely rare. So it's the same thing that Kale had to face when he was young. Being a divine emissary, she is an elemental emissary. So yeah, it's a sore point that she tries to, and she really tries hard to make sure that she's never at the whim of anybody. She's very careful about her own safety. So she makes sure that her makeup is actually all set. She actually, most of the time, will play herself off as a half-elf, because those are a lot less uncommon.
Yeah, those are actually pretty common.
Yeah, and elves can tend to have silvery hair, that kind of thing, so her hair goes unnoticed.
So she just pretends it's her elvish heritage.
Yeah, and she'll even
points up her ears with a little bit of clay or something like that.
Yeah, well, most of the time, yeah. I mean, her Genasi heritage actually messes with her ears a little bit, so she's got slightly pointed ears anyways.
Okay.
So it's an easy blend. It's an
Yeah.
easy disguise. Though coloring in her ears is always a headache because then she's got to wash that out later. It's like having earwax times 1,000.
All right, so I would like you, we're starting the rolling early, to give me a disguise roll. So that's just going to be a d20 with your... You are proficient with disguise kits, right?
Yes. Disguise kits and poisoner's kits and thieves' tools.
So just add your proficiency to whatever you roll.
Simple weapon. Not just simple weapons, right?
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure I actually have my proficiency.
Oh, yes, definitely. Come on, you're a rogue.
Yeah.
Rogues have got to have daggers.
Hey, Draskin. My other miniature. That's a character who's not going to be appearing. Sorry, guys.
Oof.
Okay, proficiency, disguise roll. So what is that?
So that's just a single d20 and then add proficiency.
Got it. That is a 6.
All right. So it's not her best work ever, but I mean, she's covering up from being something really strange, where mostly she just has to get the skin up, has to get the color on, so it's not that bad. The common person is not going to see through this disguise.
Yeah.
But if someone's looking, if they're suspicious of her or think she's doing something weird, they're probably going to notice she's in disguise.
Got it.
All right.
So it might be that she just didn't layer properly, so the foundation might streak or something like that if she's not careful or if she gets too sweaty.
Mm-hmm. So if she's working real hard, she might have to do a little touch up later. All right. So now you're heading into town after you've got your disguise on. You've got the boys out doing their missions, so they're going to take care of what they got to take care of. You get into the town square and you see a group of 3 hooded figures. They're clad head to toe in dark fabric, covers every single bit of them. You can't see any of their actual body. You just see, like, leather gloves on, loose black robes, big hoods go over the top, a, like, weird... Do you know those,
Cowls?
Well, it's like you got a cowl on top, but then you know those, kids' hoodies that have, like, the little fold-down thing
the mask,
that makes, like, a mask?
Like those Halloween ones where it goes the Grim Reaper.
Yes, right over top.
Yeah.
They have, like, a big ornate one of those made entirely out of cloth that comes over their face.
Almost like a veil.
Yes. You can't see them. You can't even see through the cloth to see, like, the shape of their face or anything like that. Completely blocks it.
Wow, that's nice because she's wearing her hood too. They're all one big hooded family.
Mm-hmm. They are waiting, standing there. 2 of them are standing stock still, no motion at all. The third one is tapping his foot slightly. What would you like to do?
I would like to do a perception check to see if I recognize any insignia, because I'm guessing that the flyer included their the god that they're reclaiming the shrine for.
Yes.
Though I guess that would be more of a religion check, because I need to actually be able to recognize
You don't even need to make a check. They have the same. You recognize the same insignia is on both shoulders as was on the paper you had.
Oh, okay.
These are the guys you're
Cool.
looking for.
Then I'll come up and I'll say, "Did I keep you waiting?"
Yes.
My apologies. I had to take care of some business.
Well, let's go. It's time.
I'm catching the subtle hissing, so
They have a strange accent, to say the least.
am I dealing with Yanti? Maybe. Okay. Well, kind of wouldn't exactly care about that at the time. It's not like,
Yeah. People can follow whatever religion they want.
and it's not like they're the strangest thing she sees every day.
True. All right.
She hangs out with a a spindly Goliath and a guy who can summon up dark demented black angel wings from his back.
Yep.
She also has blue skin, so there's that too.
They got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, she's just going to gesture for them to lead the way.
All right. So they point off in a direction. One of the 2 that were standing stock still starts walking down first. The second one gestures for Kaana to follow him,
Okay.
and then he follows her, and the last one comes behind him. And
All
they
right.
start walking along.
I want to do a perception check on the one leading. I want to see exactly how his gait is.
The one in front, or the one who's kind of commanding things?
The one in front, the one who's leading, because Kana's not going to be peering over her shoulders to just eyeball the two guys behind her. She wants to see. She's just trying to get a sense of exactly who she's dealing with. If they show any signs of training in stealth, anything like that.
All right, go right ahead.
So perception, you said, is okay.
Yes, perception is good.
That is a 6.
That is a 6.
Yeah, wisdom is not my strong suit.
Hmm.
Is not Kana's strong suit.
All right. He's got a real smooth stride. Doesn't seem like he's doing anything different than walking normally, but he looks like he's an agile fellow.
Almost gliding.
Can't tell.
All right. I'm going to stop fishing.
Looks like, kind of thinks it looks like her. It looks like how she's walking when she's on her game.
Mm.
All right. So, you guys are going. Do you want to ask any questions about about any extra details or anything while you're going there?
What are we reclaiming it from?
The leader says, "I don't know. It's just something is there now, and it drove us out. Long ago, in my father's time, a evil spirit sent us away, and the grand supreme ignobilis saved us from that spirit. Ever since then, it's been our sect's mission to reclaim this. But the location was lost to time. We had no record of where we came from or what we needed to do. We simply knew we needed to find our shrine and take it back."
Fair enough. Okay. She's just gonna trail off because she doesn't really have many questions to ask of these guys. It was pretty well explained on the flyer,
Yeah.
and that was all she really needed.
She's just ready. She's like, "All right, let's go do this.
All right.
Let's take him out."
Yeah.
All right. So you get a nice, comfortable travel time going on. No, you're mostly following the road. They pull out a map a couple times to check and confer with each other, see which way they're going. Pull out a compass to see what direction they're going, and if they need to change their bearings.
Mm-hmm.
It's relatively quick going. So you are all fairly adroit people. You don't go too slow, and somewhat uneventful. Finally, though, you turn into the forest and start to make your way through kind of a wood terrain. You're no longer on a main path. And I would like you to roll a d12 and a d8 for me.
Okay. 1 second here. You said a D12 and a D8?
Yep. And then give me both numbers.
A 4 on the D12 and a 3 on the D8. I am not rolling well tonight.
Okay. What kinds of... So Kaana has some magical heritage, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
What kinds of magic would she be familiar with?
Elemental. I mean, she can levitate. She actually has the ability to levitate.
Well, I mean, like, what kinds of magic would she have been around? What kinds of magic would she notice if she felt a magical aura? Are there any kinds she would be able to identify without outside aid, or is she just not? She's not that magical.
I don't think she's that magical, but I think that she would at least recognize sort of an aura that's similar to hers, and that she would recognize an elemental aura.
If she runs into genie-like stuff or
Yeah.
strictly elemental magic, she would be able to. She would have some familiarity with it.
Yeah, I mean, she can speak primordial for one. She has She has a natural understanding of sort of the primordial realm.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I like that. And okay, that'll be a fun detail too. She doesn't notice anything right now, No, she doesn't feel any magical aura or anything like that. Just had to figure it out. Though primordial does actually bring me to cool little element. This is slightly off topic, but in this universe, there is magic has a meter to it.
Okay.
All magic follows this same meter, regardless of what language it's in, what kind of magic it is.
An underlying tempo, you mean, or
Yeah, just like a iambic pentameter or dactylic hexameter. It
Okay.
has like a pattern of the sound of the word, sound of the thing, how you stress the syllables and stuff like that.
Okay.
And all magic follows this. So if you're familiar with this kind of pattern, and primordial uses that pattern. So it, as a language, always follows that. So it always feels a little bit magical.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So like you're reading a spell, you'd be able to recognize that it's a spell because it follows this meter.
I see.
Kaana, she's not great with it, but she would be able to... She'd catch on if she keeps hearing magical stuff. And that's just a little lore flavor sort of thing I was thinking of. So, nothing too interesting happens. You hear some rustling in the wood. You all hear rustling in the woods around you, and you all kind of stop and freeze for a moment. One of the guards quickly chucks a little rock or something into the woods. You hear something squeal and run off, kind of away from you guys. So you avoid any real deterrence on your way there. You get closer, and the person in the front puts up his hand and says, "Stop."
Mm-hmm.
They all turn around and gather kind of into a little triangle. Not excluding Kaana, but kind of excluding Kaana, not letting her see. They're pulling out the map again, you can tell. You could try and take a closer look if you want to see what they're talking about on it.
At that point, Kaana's not really... She's actually
still
more...
just kind of going along with it.
She doesn't like the fact that there's stuff rustling around them, so she's actually going to take to the trees and try and get into a more hidden position.
She's going to, climb up on top.
Well, she'll do it, one, to scout out the area, see if it's probably not that clear, but she's going to try and get a height advantage so she can at least fire down death upon anything that tries to attack.
Okay, well, it's pretty thickly wooded. Do you want to... there's a canopy above you. Do you want to climb up just into any tree, or do you want to look for the tallest tree? Do you want to try to break up through the canopy?
No, I'm saying it more... I said climb because I honestly think of that as probably the easiest way for her to hide, but she'll do the easiest thing for her to hide, which probably would be just to blend into the trees, just go off the beaten path.
Okay, so
scout around
just
that
kind
way.
of get out, look around a little bit while they're doing whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a cardinal direction and then a perception roll.
What way they've been traveling?
We've been traveling mainly south, a little bit west.
Then she'll...
Since you've been traveling west, most of the west kind of direction of travel has been since you came off the road, off the path.
Then I'd say she would be looking west.
Okay, so you're going to scout off west a little bit. Now give me a perception roll.
Yeah, I kind of wish I had Tucker for this one. Oh, actually, 12, not bad compared to my other rolls tonight.
So you kind of creep through the brush a little bit. You keeping your ears open. You're peeking around trees, hiding while you're doing it, going nice and careful. And you hear a stream up ahead, and you hear buzzing. Faintly, a little far away, bees, that sort of thing. You think there's going to be a beehive around here, but you don't see any hives around you. You still hear natural forest noise, so nothing is disconcerting you. But there was that rustling a little while back. You hear a stream. You know that animals come around to streams fairly often. You might run into something. Do you want to keep scouting ahead, or do you want to go back, meet up with the guy, or with the...
She's not going to let her clients... She's not going to keep her clients in the lurch.
Okay.
That's not how she rolls. So, yeah, she went out mostly because she wanted to just do a quick view around, see if she could get the jump on anything that might be able to attack them.
Mm-hmm.
But only in the close vicinity of her clients.
Yeah. So not she's not going 20 yards. She's not going 50 yards off. She's walking maybe 10 feet away, looking around. Okay. So, still same stuff. Do you want to tell them all what you heard or anything like that?
Yeah, no. She'll give the full report.
Okay.
She is a very careful person, like I said. She's not taking anything to chance, and if there's anything that she says that actually what strikes a nerve or makes them more afraid, then she's going to want to make sure they know about it. Because, otherwise, if they have knowledge that she doesn't, that's knowledge is power when you're trying to keep ahead of your opponent.
So, you tell them about the river, you tell them about the bees. They're not scared by it. They are... The one you've been talking with mainly is happy to hear it. He's excited. Huh. He points down to the map and points out a river on it and says, "That's where it is. We're almost there. Let's keep going." So you guys advance. They're setting a bit more of a brusque pace. They're kind of not caring as much if they get swatted by a branch or something as they're going by. They're rushing.
They got the full head covering too, so
they're protected a little bit. So they're rushing in, and you break out of the wooded cover. There we go. Sorry I don't have this on my big map thingy.
It's alright.
I made this a while ago. Break out onto this first area is kind of a big overview.
Well, with her smaller space here, she actually fits.
She actually fits pretty much right on it. So you break out into this big thing. There's a big stream running... What direction do rivers normally run? North-south? No. Yeah, north-south.
I wouldn't... That's never something I learned.
See, I know it, but I only know it because there's one river in the world that's a weird exception to the rule.
Huh. And
I learned basically the rule from the exception. So it might be right or it might be wrong. I'm pretty sure it's by hemisphere. Northern hemisphere rivers run north-south. Southern hemisphere rivers run south-north or something like that.
Towards the equator?
But that doesn't seem right, does it? That's why I'm like, is that right?
I thought that the only exception was the Nile River.
It is the Nile. I don't know.
It's
running the normal way.
Yeah.
It's running whatever way it should. I don't know why I include these geographical details when I'm not a big geography guy.
Because it's fun.
But, so it's running the normal way. There's a bridge across it, which is this picture. Across the way, there's a house. The house it's a fantastically strange-looking house. It's built up it's almost as if it's built up on stilts. But it's not stilts, it's giant trees that it's built on top of. And the trees go up and through and come out the roof, and the roof is just made of the canopy out of the trees. It's all beautiful and natural. Nothing seems carved. It seems like they've grown the wood into the shape of these things.
Alright.
And off to the back right side of the house, this section here, there's a large dome kind of covering on the ground with a, not quite a dome, more conical, but it is somewhat dome-esque, like it's a slow, gentle cone up to the top. And that is made out of stone, and it has it has a few different symbols on it. One of them looks, actually in this case, Give me a religion roll.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, do any of the symbols seem to be those of Ignobilis? 16 plus religion is a +2.
All right.
So an 18.
So you see a symbol, and it is not exactly the symbol that is on the coats and was on the message from the guys, but it looks very similar to the symbol the Ignobilis guys used.
All right.
And that's the main premier symbol on it.
Okay.
It's very clearly what the core symbol of the place was.
All right. So these guys are either they might have adapted it over the time since they were cast out, or they are a warring sect.
Oh yeah, that totally could be possible.
This is Kaana thinking, actually, is that because she's always looking for the different options.
Yeah. Yes. Alright, so here's where it is. They have, the three guys you're with have rushed forwards, and they are eagerly crossing the bridge. They're trying to go real quick. You see beehives regularly standing at posts on the bridge, and the buzzing is very loud.
I'm going to try and do my best to make them slow down and stop. Just give some kind of signal to them.
How are you signaling them?
With a hiss, actually. Like
With a hiss?
I'm going. Well, it's supposed to be something to get their attention, but not so loud that it would disturb the bees. Because, well, should I make a intuition check or something like that? Because my intuition would be that this is a trap.
Just give me like your best facsimile of what you're trying to do. Like what sort of noise are you making at them? Okay.
Like it's almost like she's trying to whistle, but it's just air coming out, so it's a sharp outlet of breath.
Okay, so she's doing like
almost like a shush, but it's meant to actually get their attention. Like
so it's like half. Yeah, okay. That last one was good. Give me a charisma check. No skill, just straight charisma.
She's got a +3 in that, so that's a 15.
All right. Which one are you directing this to the most? They're still in that same marching order, so it's one of the two guys, leader, other of the two guys. So is there one you want to direct it at more than the others?
The leader.
Okay. You catch his attention, and he looks back and looks at you questioningly. Do you have any follow-up?
She's trying to not make any noise now, so she's putting up a hand to indicate stop. Okay. And then she's going to point to each of the beehives that she spotted.
Okay, he's going to say, "What of these things? Ignobilis loves honey."
And so I'm going to point, or Kaana will point to herself and start doing sort of the finger walking motion, just 2 fingers forward, and just she'll start to do it, and she'll just be, while she's passing them, she's going to have her hand up, just indicating for them to wait a second.
To the three.
Yeah.
Okay.
To the three clerics, or the 3 crusaders. So she's trying to indicate to them she's trying to scope out the situation before they proceed forward.
Okay, make a persuasion roll for me.
Okay, persuasion. This should be something I can do. Yep, +5.
Whew, nice.
That's a 10. I am rolling horribly tonight.
All right. So you are doing this very nice, competent, relaxed kind of, hey, stop. Let me check it out. This is what you're paying me for. They are too eager, and the leader starts to get impatient and gestures for his 2 guards to move along. We are so close. He says we're so close to the object of our sex desire. We are so close to our mission for the past 100 years and more. And you want us to go slowly? We cannot do that. Move out, men. Let's reclaim this shrine.
Kaana's going to rub the bridge of her nose, the cartilage of her nose. You know that. Mm-hmm. I didn't know this, but apparently that is actually supposed to relieve stress. There actually has a pressure point or something. Mm-hmm. So she's just going to do that once they start moving forward, and just follow behind, because if she can't make them stop, then she's at least going to watch their backs.
Mm-hmm. Hey, can't always pick your employers.
Well, can.
I mean, you just literally you can in her case.
Yeah, but just doesn't mean that they've showed everything up front.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Kaana's not one to break a contract either. That's bad for business.
All right. What's the next part of this place? All right. Next comes. We're back onto the overhead map.
Okay.
So we've crossed across the bridge, so we're going to be right on this spot. There's a stairwell that goes up. You can see underneath the stairs, there are the big trees. At the top of the stairs, there's a deck, and there's an entrance, a little bit offset, little inset from the top of the stairs. They are making their way, they're kind of directing themselves straight towards the stone kind of conical place. You don't see a door, but there must be one. They're making a little bit of a racket. Where would you like to continue following them, or would you like to move around, check out, look around?
She would probably look around because the actual interior of it doesn't really bother her. She got them there.
Mm-hmm.
They can do what they want in there. She's just going to make sure that they can get out.
Okay. So where are you gonna look?
She's going to case the entire sort of the campus of the shrine.
Okay, so she's gonna do like do
perimeter
a quick
check.
look around. She's not gonna look up to the house. She's not gonna focus on any one place. Just kind of give a look around.
But she'll do a look around, but in interior and exterior. So she's going to check out. But she'll check out the supplement. What's the word? The minor buildings. Just the other areas, the other buildings that are around.
Okay, so you're gonna look at. There's a well out in this direction.
Mm-hmm.
There's the tower. There's the underground. There's the underneath. There's the deck, and then there's the main house. So you're gonna look. Take a look over at the well, take a look at the tower, take a look underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which would you like to look at first?
The well.
The well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And which is second?
The tower.
Alright. Make your perception roll for me.
Perception on the well or perception on the tower? Or just
a single perception roll.
Okay.
And then we're going to see. It's going to be slightly
different.
different.
My gosh.
Ooh.
I can't roll perception. That's a 5. This is bad for an assassin. She should actually perceive the world around her.
Alright, and there we go. I need this book now. Hi. Not that one. I need this one. What do they get? That. Alright. Well, that was closer than it needed to be. But, so, as you are looking around, you look over at the well, turn your attention back over to the tower. You're starting to turn your attention back over, and out of nowhere, you hear... Now, that's a strange way to describe it. They wouldn't do it. Yeah, they do it that way. You hear threatening panpipe music. And then a loud bear's roar.
Uh-oh.
And two creatures come out from past the well and charge towards you and the group. And a large brown bear is charging at you as well. No. A black bear. Still fairly large, not as large as a brown bear.
Okay.
These two creatures they have humanoid upper bodies, they have strange animal-like lower bodies, forked hooves, backwards legs. They've got kind of bestial sort of fur and look on their face with horns coming out of their heads.
Oh. Well, I know what they are. I guess Kaana doesn't, but they're fawns. Satyrs.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're a little bit more animalistic looking. These are fey creatures, and they're more... The last fey creature, the fey that you saw with Tukra was very plant-like. These are animal-like.
Okay.
And they are angry. They are charging at you. And your companions cry out a battle cry for Ignobilis.
Okay.
They say, "Our supreme savior, Ignobilis, forever carry your mercy upon us." And they charge with abandon at these guys.
Kana's going to roll her eyes at the monologue, and she's going to pull out her short bow and fire off an arrow at the closest satyr. The
All
closest
right.
fae.
So we have kind of a small space this time. It's going to be a little bit more theater of the mind than we usually do.
Yeah. Kind of lends.
Yeah, let's just do straight theater of the mind for this. We'll use that for
Alright.
we'll use this for.
Roll initiative, should I? Or
Yes, go right ahead.
hey, finally I have a bonus to initiative. And that's a 10. What is wrong with
Wow.
my dice tonight? I swear I am having a bad
Good
day.
Lord.
I'm having a very bad day.
Yes. And. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
That's not good.
Uh-oh.
So. Oh, Lord. Books, why do you have to be so unwieldy? Can't I just instantly have the information I want?
I don't think we're at the point of cerebral implants just yet.
Come on.
Seriously, I finally have somebody with a decent dex modifier and they can't roll for crap. Pardon my French.
What's your dex mod?
+3.
+3? Alright. That's how that one's gonna work.
Yeah, unfortunately, the only one who got a really super stellar stats was Kale. Out of all my rolls for my different characters, only Kale really got a nice stat set. I mean, Kana's decent, but Tukra's just a little bit above par.
Mm-hmm. That can still be fun.
Yeah, no, Tukra actually does a pretty good job, considering.
Alright.
But he also plays to his strengths. I haven't really decided on Kana's strengths yet.
So, unfortunately, Mr. Bear got an astounding 20
What?
on his initiative roll,
Ah, come on.
and is charging his 40 feet straight towards you and your compatriots.
Okay.
He's gonna stand up on his hind legs and make two toweringly large claw swipes. One at Kaana,
Okay.
and he's going to come down to a 9 to hit.
I'm at armor class 14.
Kaana is nimbly going to just pirouette out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Not pirouette. She's gonna do like a sweet little cool airy spin move out of the way. Like
Sorry.
come back down in crouching position with her bow almost like
Yeah.
part cocked already. And then
She doesn't get the aerial slow-mo that Link does in Breath of the Wild, but still.
but it's that kind of move. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Maybe his backflip.
Oh! Stop, Bear, you're too strong. And he crits my guard.
Oh.
How much does he do? Okay, that's not too bad. Alright. Jeez. Okay, that's not terrible. Oh, lordy though. That's gonna take a big chunk out of that guard. The second swipe comes down and viciously rips through the chest piece of the robe of the guard, and you see blood pours out. The whole front of the robe is soaked in blood now.
What color blood is it?
It is red blood. It definitely is a little bit. Kaana knows blood. It looks a little. Something's funny. Like something about it is strange. It seems to coagulate too quickly. Like you see it's clumping and stuff on the ground. Not instantly, but
Far
much more faster than it should. But in you look at it and it's already like starting to pool up in a way that it should still be kind of running. So something's weird about that. And he looks much worse for wear. He's in a bad place. That's gonna have to be dealt with.
All right.
All right. Next, we have the leader of our expedition here. Hisses out some words of power and casts a bolt of energy at one of the satyr creatures. The bolt fires off harmlessly past him, crashing into the well beyond, knocking over a few stones. It looks very powerful. If that hits, it's gonna hurt pretty bad. And the satyr, in return, pulls out a short bow and takes a shot at the leader. The satyr manages to hit him. And you see the arrow fly through the air and thunk into the shoulder of the leader. He seems impaired, but not terribly harmed.
All right.
Now, the two guards are going to pull out swords from sheaths on their hips, and they're going to take swings at the bear. 1 guard 2. Oh, good job, guards. So many pages to turn. That's that. Alright, not a bad job. Not a bad job. The bear, the first guard's sword sinks into the bear's shoulder, and a spurt of blood comes out. The second guard's sword crosses right over the same spot, clanging against the first guard's sword and pushing both blades deep into the bear's shoulder. It
Nice
lets
teamwork.
out a moan of pain and collapses back down onto its legs. It's heavily favoring the non-injured front leg, kind of holding the other one up tenderly with the blade still stuck in it. One of the guards gets dragged down onto the ground with him, and the other guard manages to pull its sword out while staying standing. It's the injured guard that fell down. But the other guard is up. The bear looks heavily harmed, and now it is Kaana's turn to act.
Finally. Ay.
So you have really hurt bear, really hurt guy, slightly hurt guy, and then two satyrs, one of which has fired a shot at you guys, and the other of which is readying a bow to fire a shot at you. You have your bow drawn and ready to go.
Alright. I'm realizing I actually don't have my attack bonuses correct.
Oh
No, I do, because you can actually, with simple weapons, you can add your dex.
With finesse weapons.
Oh, cool. Would daggers count as finesse weapons?
Yes, daggers are finesse
Okay.
weapons.
And so is the rapier she has, so I do have that right. Okay, so she's going to take her short bow
Okay.
and fire off at the same satyr that's fired at her client.
Okay, so at the one fired already?
Take out a sniper. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh wait, there's one that hasn't taken an action yet?
Yes.
Well, she's not really thinking in terms of RPGs, but maybe she would try and go for the guy who... No, she would attack the guy who would attack her client.
Mm-hmm.
So, short bow strike with one of her 20 arrows. At a +5. That is a 19, almost a
All
crit.
right.
So that's a 24.
You
to hit.
managed to hit for sure. Roll
Okay.
that damage.
So with the short bow, that's a 1d6 plus 3 damage.
And do you have a particular body part you're aiming for?
I'm aiming
How
for
are you shooting at it?
the eyes. I'm aiming for
Going
the face.
for up on the face?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is 3 plus 3, so that's 6 damage.
All right. So you don't manage to hit it in the face, but the arrow kind of, with the or the drop off that happens when you shoot an arrow, it comes down and it nails it right in the chest.
All right.
It deals a solid chunk of damage, but it's still definitely up and about and ready to go.
All right. Well, I'm going to take my cunning action.
Mhm.
Well, I'll take my movement action and take my cunning action to try and hide
All right. So whereabouts you moving?
towards the well.
Towards the well. So towards the guys.
Wait.
Because the
Where? Okay. How
so
is
so you are in this general area.
Okay.
And this is a clear, open, underneath area here.
Mm-hmm.
They were moving, your clients were moving this way, and they were coming at you from this direction.
Then she'd probably retreat to hide under the bridge.
Okay, so she's going like underneath the bridge?
Yeah.
Okay. And said you're using your cunning action to hide?
Let's see. Cunning action allows me to
Yeah, you can do a dash,
disengage, or hide.
Disengage, yeah.
Because I'm trying to get the surprise bonus on assassinate.
Okay. Well, that happened. The surprise bonus only happens during a surprise round.
Oh. Okay. Fair enough. I thought that surprise was at any time that you hit them from a hidden possession.
Oh, do you mean sneak attack?
Yeah.
Okay, that's just you have to have advantage on the attack roll, or an ally, a non-incapacitated ally within 5 feet of the creature you're attacking.
Oh, then I should have attacked the bear. We've got a sneak attack on it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, it's pretty much just like they need to be involved in something, or you need to be
hidden.
having a really good shot at them.
Yeah.
To get sneak attack.
And hide is a way to get advantage on an attack roll, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, so she would hide.
So make a stealth check for me.
Okay, stealth I am quite proficient in because I put my expertise into that. So she has a +7 on that. +7 to stealth.
All right.
That is a 19 +7.
All right.
It's 26.
You feel really, really well hidden.
Maybe that comes from her. She has the ability Unending Breath, actually. She can hold her breath for as long as she wants.
Oh yeah,
That's-
I forgot about that part of them.
That's her Genasi
That's
ability,
nice. Yeah, so you like quickly dart underneath the bridge, dive down to the far side, hold your breath so you can't even hear that you're there.
Hmm.
You think no one's gonna find you unless they are looking for you something hard.
Hmm.
And they're a little bit occupied, all these guys who are fighting.
Right.
Alright, so the other satyr, the one who has not acted yet, will advance forwards towards the bear, and he will, play a tune on his panpipes, and it seems to be some kind of magical spell. You aren't sure exactly what, but you can feel the magical energy. You can feel like the magical energy in the notes.
Mm-hmm. Bard
And
likes.
Are you watching the bear or the satyrs?
I'm watching the satyrs. Those are my primary targets. The bear is
Okay.
for the fighters to deal with, the guards to deal with. I'm taking care of the support.
You are not sure what happens when he plays the music.
Ah. Ah, well.
Alright, so now we go back up to the top of the order. The bear makes now another couple big attacks. He tries to take a big bite out of one that has fallen down on the ground, and he struggles to hit but misses and is unable to get his teeth. The guard is kind of holding his sword up and forcing it into his jaws so that he can't get a nice bite down. And he kind of stays trapped in that melee with that guard. The first satyr, the one who shot at the leader, is going to pull his bow out again, and he's going to take another shot at the leader. He manages to hit this time, and it's again the shot sinks into the leader. He looks harmed, but he still looks fairly hale. He looks like he's doing better than the guard that got knocked down.
Alright.
Now the guard that is locked in kind of the melee with the bear is gonna try and like shake him off. At the same time as he's doing that, the other guard is going to take his sword and again try to batter the bear with it.
All right.
That's fun. Got a 1.
You are not rolling tonight.
He unfortunately hits his friend as his friend is trying to stop the bear. Oh, and he hurts his friend a lot.
Ay.
He smashes down right on the face. That face is going to be a huge mess now. The mask is completely torn off. But, I mean, you're not looking at there, you can't see him, but after that, there's not much face left to see.
So Kaana is realizing that she might have been hired by Larry, Mo, and Curly.
Well, you won't be able to tell which at this point.
Yeah.
But, now it is...
I'm guessing Larry or Curly, because Mo rarely got smacked.
Yeah. Now it is Kaana's time to act. What would you like to do? You are very well hidden.
Alright. Having seen them get smacked, she's probably going to try and help them disengage from the bear.
Okay.
So, from her position, she's going to try and do a sneak attack, I guess.
Alright.
Do I have to declare a sneak attack, or is that just what happens?
It's just when you have advantage on attack roll, if you hit, you can take sneak attack damage.
Okay, and I have advantage, correct?
Yes.
I'm hidden,
and sneak attack is only once per round.
Right.
Or once per turn? Yeah, turn.
So if I took a secondary attack, it wouldn't work a second time.
Yes, you would only get sneak attack on one of them.
So I can either have a 1 or a 17. I'm going with the 17.
Good call.
17.
And you are attacking the bear to try and help them get away.
Yeah, 17 plus 5, so that's a 22.
Alright, you managed to hit the bear.
Alright, 1d6 plus 3.
And then you get your sneak attack die as well.
Okay.
Which I think at level 3, do you get 2 or do you get 1 still?
Sneak attack is at 2d6,
All
so
right,
that's
so
3d6.
Yep.
Nice. I do not mind that. One itty bitty bit.
Go for it.
Go for the nose. That's its weakest point. That's a 6, a 5, and a 3. So that is 14 damage in total.
Alright, so... Where were you aiming on the bear? Where were you going for this time?
The face.
Right on the face?
The nose or the eyes. I'm going for its weakest... The points where I know I can cause it the most aggravation so that it will actually try and disengage from the fighters.
Alright. So you take your shot, and you are aiming right at its head, and you're going for right underneath the earlobe. On an upward, you're kind of like down on a slope a little bit from it. You're aiming upwards on it, and you catch him directly beneath the ear, right here at like the edge, right at the bottom of the skull, right between the jaw and the skull, and it launches up and into its brain, and the bear collapses down on top of the guard, fallen. But no longer trying to eat your clients.
Alright, Kaana is going to take a move action. And actually move out of hiding. Well, she's no longer in hiding because they... Yeah,
she just took a big shot, yeah.
But while she's moving, she's going to drape her short bow over her shoulder and actually pull out her 2 daggers.
Okay.
We'll pull out the cold iron dagger that she got from Tukra and
her standard old good dagger.
Actually, she does have a rapier, so she's gonna go offhand with the dagger, prime hand with the rapier.
Can't do that.
No?
Rapier is normal weapon. You gotta have light weapons.
It's a finesse weapon.
Finesse just means you can use dex. Light means it's small.
Okay, then 2 daggers.
Yeah.
Right. You have to have the duelist, right?
The dual wielder feat.
Yeah.
It's a little annoying, but I mean it makes sense. A rapier is like a tiny little whip thin kind of sword.
Yeah.
You don't use 2 of those at once, or even 1 of those and then something else.
Dark Souls would beg to differ.
Yeah, but Dark Souls you can wield 2 giant friggin' mega heavy swords.
Very true. You're also an undead god. Half the time.
Alright, so she pulls out her daggers, and where does she want to move to?
She is moving in... She's going to move to stand next to her clients.
Okay.
Give them a chance to breathe.
Kind of head up. Is she gonna put herself between them and the satyrs, or is she gonna put herself next to them, behind them?
Next to them.
Okay.
The tank position is not for her. She's just there to take advantage of them trying to go in for the tanks.
All right. So she's kind of in line with them.
Yeah.
All right. Lined up with them. And now that page fell out. The other satyr pulls out he takes another shot with his short bow, and he kind of strafes around behind the house. He's staying within range. He steps within a certain range of you, within 30 feet of you, and you can see him shudder as he does so, and he backs up immediately and kind of plants himself right there. So he takes a shot at the leader again, and the arrow whizzes harmlessly past. Now it's up to the first satyr. He saw that his ally shudder and step back away from you, and says something in a strange kind of
Meh.
rough, animalistic sounding language. You don't understand what he's saying at all, and the other one calls back to him, and he too moves forwards to just about 30 feet away from you, and now he actually takes a shot at you.
Alright.
Alright, that is cocked. There we go. That is a 14.
That matches my AC.
That matches your AC. Who wins in a tie? I think it's the roller wins in a tie. Is that right? Let's go with that for now. I'll check later and see if that's how it goes.
Okay.
So the shot kind of barely reaches into you. It strikes you as gently as an arrow can strike someone and still deal actual damage. So it sinks into your thigh slightly, more of like a scrape than actually penetrating into you. It kind of falls off after it's hit you. Take 4 points of damage.
Okay.
And after he hits you, he calls out something in a victorious sound. He calls out a victorious sounding remark in his animalistic language. And now it's up to the leader. The leader shouts again another battle cry for the fantastic and oh so amazing Lord Ignobilis, great leader and wonderful creator of all. How dare you, terrible, monstrous animal, harm our carefully chosen and incredible companion. And he fires another bolt of magical energy towards this satyr. And again, the bolt just kind of careens off into the forest in the distance. You think it might have hit one of the hives off on the bridge, but you're not bothering to go check that during a battle. The one guard tries to help kind of push the bear off of his friend and help him get up on his feet, and that's their turn. So now it is Kaana's turn again.
Alright, Kaana's going to charge in and swipe at the the bowman satyr.
Okay.
She's going to slash at him with the cold iron dagger.
Alright. Make an attack roll.
Okay, cold iron dagger. Any fey within 30 feet. No cold iron exists near them. +1 dagger against fey. Cold iron adds +1 cold damage on any hit as well.
So that means, +1 dagger against fey means you'll add an extra 1 to your attack and damage rolls, and then there's the extra 1 cold damage on top of that.
Cool. So let's hope no whammies, no whammies. That's a 20 in total.
Alright, so that'll be a hit.
Or sorry, 19 because the the cold damage doesn't add 1 to the hit.
Let's see. So you get +1 to the roll from the +1 dagger against fey. Get your +3 from Dex. Your
so 15. So that's +4 to the 15.
All right, and then +2 from proficiency.
No, I added in the.
Oh,
no,
okay.
you're right. Yeah, silly me. So yeah, that's a 21.
All right, so yeah, that's definitely a hit. So now roll your d4.
1d4 +3 damage. There you are. and also plus 2 damage from the +1 dagger
Mhm.
and the cold damage. So that's 2 plus 3 is 5 plus another 2 is 7.
All right. And you said that was Bowman. That was
Yeah, Bowman.
Bowman. All
Bowman Satyr.
All right. That is a solid hit. He looks definitely harmed, but not too shaken. He is, however, has a kind of aghast face. He's disgusted and repulsed by the cold iron being so close to him.
Mm.
Clearly hates it. After you hit him, his companion shouts out something desperate sounding, and from the context, having been being a killer and having been in this sort of situation before, you recognize it as, it's gotta be get away. Like, get out of there.
Well,
Run away. You can get away. Run away.
Kaana's going to follow up with a second on that. So think of it that she is coming with a stab, and she's just going to follow up with another stab with a bonus action attack.
Okay, so you're using your other dagger to get in for a second stab?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
This one's just going to be a
Yeah.
20. The normal old dagger.
that's an 11 plus 3. Oh, no, I don't. I do add the roll bonus to it, right? Or is that...
So that's...
No, it's just... No.
So
it's
two
just
weapon
the 11.
fighting is just with the damage. You don't add your damage, or you don't add your ability mod.
Okay.
With the regular attack roll, it's the same attack roll. as
Okay,
always.
so it's a 16 then.
Alright, so that is a hit. So roll 1d4.
That is 2 damage.
Alright. So the satyr that shouted out the warning, shouted out the thing to say get away, like run away. He charges at you and pulls out a actually doesn't even pull out anything. He just lowers his head and tries to ram you with his kind of horns on his head.
Alright.
So he's just charging straight to you, attempting to hit you. Alright. So he gets a... That. He's got a 15. Oh yeah, you have a 14, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so he manages to catch you. You stab in the first time, and then you get the second stab in, and you're kind of trying to withdraw your weapons and keep them back solidly in your grasp without inviting any opportunities to attack from the satyr. The second one swings in and catches you right on the back with his horns
Okay.
for 4 damage.
I am down to 16.
You're gonna have a serious bruise in the morning from those 2 horns, but it's not killing you. Now, the leader of your clients is gonna yell at his guards, and he's gonna say something that sounds strange. That sounds like some sort of strange prayer over top of his friends. You feel an energy coursing through you, and a strange kind of linkage
Okay.
to the other 2 guards. You are under the effects of a spell called Bless. So whenever you attack, roll 1d4 and add that to your attack roll.
Cool.
Whenever you make an attack or a saving throw, you get to roll a d4 and add that to the attack or saving throw.
Nice.
So any attack or save, you get to add that to.
Like it.
The 2 guards now charge up forwards, and the uninjured one kind of forces his way in between you and the satyr that you're immediately in melee with, and the second one kind of tries to get in between you and the one that charged at you. And they both make swings of their swords. The one that charged at you manages to avoid the strike. The one that you hit as well actually gets hit, and it is a sickeningly strong blow. you can see kind of he gets chopped right in the shoulder, and you see like a big gaping wound there, opening up. He is looking much worse for wear. You think he's not going to be lasting too much longer in this battle. Now it is your turn again.
All right, Kaana's going to keep going in with the attacks on the bowman.
Okay, on the one you've already struck.
Yeah.
All right. How would you like to swing?
Oh, sorry. How's his face right now?
So you guys are both. You're all kind of underneath. This is the top of the stairs. You're underneath the top of the stairs. There's the space underneath the house to your right. There's the well up in front of you. You had come up here right up in front of one of the satyrs. You were standing face to face with him. The other satyr had charged from the back of the house up to hit you at the front of the house. And now one of the guards is standing right in front, right like next to you, slightly in front of you, between you and that guy. On a normal map, it would be 3 squares in a row. Satyr, him, satyr, guard, you. Then immediately 1 square to your right, kind of like an L, would be the other satyr. And 1 square beneath that, now it's kind of looking like that sort of, like a sort of lightning bolt shape.
Okay.
Would be the other guard.
Okay. But sneak attack wouldn't apply then.
If you were, so the one immediately to the right, the one that charged you, you have an ally in melee combat with that guy, so you would be able to hit him. If you stepped diagonally up, so you stay in range of both satyrs, you wouldn't get any attacks of opportunity, and you would have same deal. You would have a ally in melee range, not incapacitated for both of them, so you wouldn't need advantage for sneak attack for either.
Cool.
Basically, you can get sneak attack on either one.
All right. So I will do that diagonal shift.
Okay. Go for it.
All right, but I don't get advantage.
No advantage. No.
Ew. This was with the cold iron dagger, by the way. But that's
okay.
a 10 plus 1, so that's an 11.
Oof.
Oh, but I get the plus 4, right?
Yes, you got a D4.
That's plus 4.
And that perfectly hits.
Woo!
Just barely.
Thank you, bless.
Nice.
So that was 16.
Alright, so go ahead and roll damage for that.
With the sneak attack bonus?
Yep.
Excellent.
So that's a D4, 2d6.
Oh, right, it's the dagger die. D4 and 2d6. That is 7 damage. Plus
7
1
damage.
for plus 2 for the cold and for the cold iron.
And 3 for your dex.
Oh yeah. So dang, sneak attack.
7, 10, 12. So that's 12 damage there.
So I imagine the satyr's just focusing on the guy and doesn't notice a dagger slip under from around the guy's back and just stab him in the gut.
Yeah, you manage to. He's like, they're kind of back and forth, a little bit of movement, a little bit of fakes and taunts, all sorts of stuff happening, and you just ever so delicately slide it in and thunk right underneath, right in the rib cage, or right in the armpit, the gap in the leather armor, and he tenses up and collapses down onto your arm. You have so much experience with this exact blow that you just slide it out, drop him down to the ground. What would you like to do with the rest of your turn?
I haven't moved. I've moved 5 feet. I'm going to spin around and actually I'm going to make a bonus attack with the cold iron dagger.
Well, it's got to be the.
Oh, right, it's got to be the
yeah.
offhand. I'm going to use my bonus action actually to disengage.
Okay.
And shift around behind my meat shield.
Oh, around behind your guard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting ready for another sneak attack, depending on what happens next.
Alright. So you do that. You, get it, drop him down, spin around. Again, with that, I'm going to say, with that just kind of air Genasi style, lightness of movement, everything seems like you're almost floating down as you do it. And you quickly take up stance behind your guard. He's like, the guy I was fighting is dead? What happened? When did that happen? How are you here? he's confused because it was all so fast. The other satyr cries out in despair as he sees his companion has fallen, and he tries to run away. He's running towards the kind of conical stone area.
Okay.
And the injured guard takes a big swipe at his feet as he's trying to run out of reach. And he manages to strike him, dealing a savage blow and knocking him down. He is now prone on the ground, right next to one of the big kind of supports for the house. What would you like to do?
Coup de grace, I guess.
All right. Do you want to go forwards and do it, or do you want to allow the others to do it?
I'll take care of business.
Okay. So you kind of walk over and calmly just kind of shoot into like the back of the skull.
Yeah.
One of the many various weak points creatures have.
Cold and set, but also just quick and painless is what she's aiming for.
Yeah.
No
Goes
point
for
in
one of the sudden death spots. All right. So he shudders, mutters something in his animalistic language that you don't know. If you wanted to, you could try and recall what he said to say it back to Tucker later.
Okay.
Or, to anyone who you think might know this. But right now, you're not sure.
Okay.
So you've taken care of these enemies. Nothing else seems to be moving around you. The guards kind of get up, all come together. What would you like to do? You just kind of had this big melee. They are wounded, but they don't seem like they're going to stop. They seem like they're going to go back, and they're going to go into that big conical area.
She's all business on this. She's just ready to go home now after taking a few shots. So she's just going to ask, are we finished here?
Well, we need to go. We need to see our shrine. We need to go within and make sure there's no more pests still inhabiting the area.
Well then, let's get moving. She says.
All right. So you all go over to the kind of big stone thing. You walk in. Well, you don't walk in. You walk around it. There's no obvious entrance here, but it rises up and connects to the house, so there may be an entrance within the house. So they walk out from underneath, and they are going up the stairs. I assume Kaana goes with them, just kind of walking around, keeping an eye on things.
She's going to try and stick to the shadows now that she knows that there are hostiles.
Okay. So you guys open up into the house. What's the direction of the house? Brother, you come up on top. You see there's more of those kind of beehives hanging around. There's a bunch of them. There's a big table with lots of chairs. You see 8 chairs set in a circle around this table. They don't all look super warm. It looks like there are about five chairs that probably were used consistently. And then you go on in the house. There's a little atrium. There's a little well. There's doors open. One of them is a supply room. It's got some weaponry, some everyday supplies. One of them opens up to a kind of kitchen type area. And then there's a big open hall. At the end of the open hall area, there's another table, and then past that you can see the stone structure actually comes up, and the wood just simply stops growing right up against it, and there's a door to go in. They immediately are eager to go in. Would Kaana like to go in first, or would Kaana like to let them lead?
She let them lead. This is their territory now. This is where they know how to proceed. She doesn't, so she'd rather hang back and have a good chance to actually try and surprise anything that might try and hurt her clients.
Okay. So they open up the door, and that takes us to there. So now we are in this top area here.
Mm-hmm.
We open up through the door, and there are some spiral stairs going downwards. And at the top, or in the middle of the place, it's just a blank, empty room. There is a big pentacle with kind of runic trees inscribed upon it, and clearly magical writing, and brush. It looks like fresh, living, young trees, young like saplings, are taken up and planted down, covering a hole leading down further into this stone structure. Does not look very much like a shrine, at least not like one that Kaana has ever seen.
Well,
now that they have entered, they are standing around, and the leader tells Kaana to remove these profanities from the sacred area. Not sacred area. What does he call it? The sacred drop of Ignobilis.
Kana is not exactly willing to put herself next to a hole around strangers. She has only known for a few hours.
Mm-hmm.
So she's actually going to try and put on a little performance.
Okay, what is she going to do?
She's going to, what she's going to do is try and feign sort of modesty. What she's going to look at it and she's like, I appreciate the gesture, good sirs, but I wouldn't feign or I wouldn't deign myself worthy of coming near a holy site. I know not the customs of Ignobilis, so I would rather not interfere in how you. I wouldn't want to damage I would not want to damage your altar.
Well, this is not our altar. This is some strange profanity that these creatures have put up on top of our altar. Our altar is below, is within the true shrine of Ignobilis. This is some strange garbage they've put on top of the entrance. He's pointing at the hole, saying that's the entrance to the shrine.
Okay.
And he's trying to tell you, like, you need to take those twigs, take those things, and get them out of here. Remove them.
Does Connor actually know what Ignobilis is about? What his followers usually, what his tenets are? Is that common knowledge, or because I feel like she wouldn't just go on a quest without knowing if
he's not a well-known god, but as you recall, when you looked at kind of the signs on the outside, the symbolage of it, you recognized it, and not just because it was similar to what you'd seen before. It's a sign you've seen before.
Okay. Does it have
You don't know a ton about it. Where did you grow up? What kind of area?
More rural, I would say.
Rural? Was there a religious influence in the area?
Well, Kana's mom was religious.
Okay.
Her dad wasn't around because,
obviously.
But yeah, her mom was religious, and most of the community was.
Okay. Would she have gone regularly to services, to chapels?
Begrudgingly, yes.
Okay.
I mean,
then
she kind of had the angsty teen thing, but also it's kind of merited in the fact that she is part God, quote unquote.
Yeah. Her heritage definitely considers themselves gods.
Yeah.
Whether or not they are, whole different matter.
So when you're able to make yourself float in the air and do these things that are described in the scriptures as being godly, it's kind of disillusioning.
All right. So in this world, most chapels are multi-faith. Most people are polytheistic. She knows some about Ignobilis. He is He's a weird god. Not a lot of people follow him. He's all about pretending and hiding. And he has a bit of a bad reputation as a god because of this. Because
A god of falsehood, almost?
Not of falsehood, because it doesn't matter whether or not you are what you say you are. You cannot present yourself as telling. You cannot present yourself as telling the truth. You can tell the truth. It's not about actually lying. It's about other people not knowing if you're lying.
Sounds like Kaana would actually get along well with this guy. Or his,
Yeah.
his followers.
But like people will, and part of like the religious wear is the full body stuff where you hide your entire body and face. So people pretend to be followers of Ignobilis and are bandits and rob people.
Huh.
People pretend to be followers of Ignobilis and are really just trying to screw over other followers of gods or something like that.
Okay.
Because like you're not allowed to know who they actually are. That's part of their things.
Okay.
So like this could be a legit thing. It's not something that you know about. You don't know any of their teachings that would say don't do this.
Okay. Kana's gonna shrug, because also she's thinking to herself, they pushed me and I can just levitate back out.
Okay.
She's very...
That's totally legit.
Yeah. So she's gonna go up and she's just gonna tentatively pick up the different branches and just carry them over to the corner of the stone area.
Alright, make me a dexterity check as you're walking across the across the pentacle and the runes and all that and picking up the stuff.
Would this be a saving throw, or because I actually have proficiency in that?
No, it's not a saving throw. It's just seeing how dexterously you do it.
Got it. What is with my rolls tonight? That's an 8 in total.
Alright. Not fantastic. You mess up the pentacle a little bit. As you're carrying away like the branches and brush and stuff like that, it kind of sweeps up bits and pieces of it.
By the way, kind of wouldn't really care about that.
No, yeah. I figured she probably wouldn't be careful about it, but I was figuring like, alright, let's see how carefully she does it. Because she's naturally a careful, agile person. She might just... You know how sometimes there will be a pattern on the floor and you might just step along the pattern just because you can?
Yeah.
I was figuring she might do that kind of thing. So she messes it up a little bit, stirs it around. After she picks up a couple branches, the guards come and help her pick them up as well. And as soon as the whole thing is set, the leader immediately leaps down. And you don't hear a splat or anything. It doesn't seem dangerous. 2 guards leap after him. Would you like to leap after them as well?
Against my better judgment, yes.
All right.
She's also in darkness, so now she has a good chance of hiding and sneak attacking.
That is true. You leap on down and land in a big, soft, just kind of like a soft ground area. It's not a big drop, but it's like maybe like a 8-foot drop into very well stirred up ground. Lots of like soft dirt, lots of soft things in general, feathers and all that sort of stuff, leaves and things put together to make a landing area.
Okay.
Kind of like a primitive acrobatics kind of foam pit.
Okay.
So you all come out of the drop perfectly fine. Kaana especially, she basically just like lands on her feet. Doesn't even need to flex her knees to make the fall. And already those guys are all kind of off like a rocket. They're not even asking for you to follow them anymore. They seem not even to care about you.
Okay.
They are advancing down, and they're going down these stairs. Every once in a while, you see similar looking pentagram sorts of things with the runes. They step around those, but you're not sure why they do that. But they're just kind of continuing further and deeper into the shrine.
Okay.
It's starting to get a little bit weird. The shrine seems bigger than it should be. Like, it only looked like it was a couple, like, 1 floor, 2 floors. Now you've gone down a spiral set of stairs, you've done turns. It's some kind of, it must be connected to some kind of cave system underneath the ground. And they are moving very fast. It looks like they know it looks like they know the caves. Which, how would they know the caves if they haven't been here for 100 years?
Are you on tea or kobolds? I knew it.
So, are you going to try and hurry and catch up to them?
I'm going to keep pace with them, but I'm not trying to stay close to them at this point, because alarm bells are going off in Kaana's head, but she's going to see the job through.
Well, they are trying to pull away from you, so you're going to have to hurry to try and keep up.
Okay.
So, does Kaana have anything that would help her find her way in kind of an underground cave system?
She could leave markings. Use stuff from her...
Does she have anything that would help her track someone in an underground cave thing, I should say?
Her own intuition, I guess.
Alright. So...
Disguise was calm, primordial. Yeah, I mean, that's really all she's got. She doesn't have any kind of marking thing. If she was a ranger, maybe.
Alright. Let me get this stuff. So, as you move forwards, you're trying to hurry to catch up with them. Well, not catch up, you're trying to hurry to keep in sight of them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they turn a corner, you kind of speed up a little bit to make it around the corner before they can lose you. At this point, you feel pretty strongly they're trying to get away from you. And you turn the corner, and one of the guards is standing there and takes a swing at you.
Yeah.
His sword clangs up against the wall. Does not hit you. This is the injured guard, and he's attacking. He's trying to kill you.
Okay, roll for initiative.
Go ahead.
That's 15.
Alright. You'll be going first.
Okay. How dark is it?
It is very dark. There are occasional like kind of funguses that glow a little bit. Gives it enough so that it would be dim light.
Okay.
So like you would have anything further than maybe 20 feet out, you would have disadvantage attacking in something that in the darkness unless you have a light source with you.
Okay. I'm going to try and move out from that range and hide.
Okay, so you're going to move back away.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to use your bonus action to disengage?
Yes.
Okay. What are you trying to hide behind?
One of the alcoves, or natural alcoves in the wall.
Okay. So, like, you're looking for anything, any outcroppings, anything that's like a natural cave formation that you could slip behind.
Yes.
After you get kind of past a little distance.
Yeah.
Okay, make a stealth check.
Okay. +7 on this.
Alright.
Come on! That's a 9.
Woo! Let's hope this guy's not good at finding things.
One side away from it's 22.
Alright. He is not very good at finding things.
Oh, lucky.
He sees that you have kind of scampered away. You make like a little quick lunge forwards. He holds back, getting into a defensive position, and then you turn tail and sweep back. Quickly sliding down and around a little stalagmite that you saw as you were coming up the corridor earlier. Mm-hmm. And he's looking. He like charges down. He's looking up and around. He didn't see you make the slide, so he's still looking up for you.
Okay.
He doesn't realize you're down low. He runs right past you. As he does so, you get an attack of opportunity.
Is it a sneak attack?
Because he doesn't know where you are, you do get advantage, yes.
Sweet. That's a 10 or a 7. So I'm going to go with the 10 plus 5.
Alright, that will...
Where's that?
Yep. That will be able to hit.
Okay.
Do you have a particular portion of him you're trying to slice at?
Shank the ankles.
Okay.
Make him crawl.
Go for it.
Also, she's going to try and get information out of him, so go for
Okay.
something
So-
non-lethal.
Get your damage roll going.
Okay. So dagger, so sneak attack.
4, 2d6. And you said you're trying to get, or you want to get information out of him, so you're doing this non-lethally, right?
I'm trying to incapacitate him.
Okay.
That's the idea. And put him in enough pain that he gets the idea that I'm looking for him to talk.
Alright, go ahead.
That is 12 damage plus 3. And it's with the cold iron dagger, so that's an extra plus 1 unless he's actually a fae.
He's not a fae.
Okay, didn't think
He
so.
doesn't, none of them have reacted the same way that
So-
they have.
Yeah, true. So that's 16 damage.
Alright. 16.
I love that sneak attack, man.
Feels so good when you do it, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
All
Takes a
right.
little bit of planning, but...
You catch him, and I'm going to have him make a... Let's make it a dex saving throw. That makes more sense for getting tripped up. What is your... You get plus 3 to dex. You have a plus 2 proficiency?
Yeah, I get plus 5 to dex saving rolls.
Alright. So... I'll have to do a 13 for this. Alright. He manages to keep his feet.
Alright.
But he skids and awkwardly turns around and is definitely worse for the wear. He kind of weakly puts up a swipe to try and attack you, but you barely even have to fend it off. You know, you can actually just let it come at you and it will clang right off on top of the stalagmite you're kind of laying down underneath. You are unfortunately prone right in front of him. But it is now your turn. What would you like to do?
Alright, I'm going to stand up.
Alright, so that will take half of your movement.
So that's 15. And he's right next to me, right?
Yes, you are in hitting distance.
Okay, then I'm going to attack with my dagger.
Alright, go right ahead.
Mm, 14, and with the cold dagger, so that's 15.
Well, he's not a fae, so it doesn't get any bonus to the attack roll.
Oh, right.
It's just the plus 1 damage when you hit with it.
Yeah, so that's a 14.
Alright, that will be enough to hit.
Sweet.
Remember, he's just wearing some cloth.
Keep on thinking that he's got armor plating on that for some reason.
Nah, he's just wearing a really cool looking robe.
So 1d4.
That's thoroughly torn up at this point.
Yeah. So that's a 3 plus another 3, so 6 damage.
Alright.
7 damage.
And 1 for the cold. Alright. So he is on his very last legs. Another, like, a slight push would probably knock him out.
Okay.
Do you have anything else you would like to do on your turn?
Well, since you mentioned it, maybe I should follow up with an extra attack.
Okay.
Kaana's not willing to let herself stay out in the open, so she would probably use her bonus action to disengage
Okay.
and use the last of her movement to sort of back down.
Well, remember, you only have 15 feet of movement.
Yeah,
That's still going to be within good sight range.
yeah, but it's more about
She wants to get some distance, just clear herself out of there.
she could also levitate.
Well, we're in kind of a
Yeah.
shallow cave system, maybe. She would still be pretty well in reach.
True.
If she just levitated to the ceiling.
True. Okay. So yeah, I guess she knows she's backed into a corner, so she probably will actually just go for the strike.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to attack with her offhand.
Okay.
That is a 18.
All right, you managed to hit.
All right, standard 1d4. That's 4 damage.
All right, that is enough to render him unconscious.
Nice.
You've been carefully choosing your places to strike. They've all been places to deal maximum harm, but not deal a lot of permanent damage. So you've been like trying to catch on the bone, trying to like get places where you're not going to drive deep within, make a big gouting move, but do something that's going to hurt a lot.
Right.
And the pain, along with all his prior wounds, is enough to pretty much overcome him, and he's going to conk out.
All right.
If you do something to kind of resuscitate him, revive him, you'll be able to incapacitate him, keep him like captive, do a kind of inquisition if you'd like.
Yeah.
Or you could tie him up and keep moving.
I'm going to tie him up and basically make him my guide.
Okay, so do you have anything to try and resuscitate him?
Regulars pack.
Percular's pack.
I could slap him awake.
Yeah, make me a medicine check.
Oh boy. Medicine is at a +1. She kind of leaves Tucker for the healing. That is a 9 in total.
All right. Unfortunately, you are unable to rouse him. He is firmly unconscious. Your knowledge of people being unconscious and dying and stuff like that is he's not dying. He's gonna be fine. Well, he's gonna have severe harm and gonna take a long time to recover, but he won't die.
One thing she might also do is actually remove his hood and actually get a look at what he is.
Get a look at what he is?
Yeah.
Okay. You can definitely do that. He is not a pretty guy, even before the giant facial injury from the bear.
Oh, this is that guy. Shoot.
But he looks human.
Okay.
He looks like a regular person. The blood, as you'd seen before, his wounds have already like started to scab over, which is abnormal. Should not nearly be happening that quickly.
Maybe he's half troll.
But he could have been healed by his leader. His leader was casting magic before. He does have a strange, pale kind of tint to his skin, but that might just be from all the blood loss he's had. You're not sure.
Kaana's gonna check his teeth.
Check his teeth.
Check his teeth.
All right.
Tell me if that's too meta.
Those aren't going to help me. That's not too meta, as she has suspicions about what he is and has already things telling her he might not be normal. His teeth are fairly standard. He's got some wicked canines, but they look like teeth.
Alright. Okay, yeah, I've got a pretty good idea.
Well, you've got a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Kaana has, like, something's up with this guy. Alright,
Too bad I don't have anything silvered.
he doesn't seem like he will wake up for the next few hours. You're not sure exactly how many, but he's not waking up anytime soon.
Alright.
Excuse me.
Kaana... She's not willing to let him wake up and then come after her.
Okay.
Because especially if he's not normal, she doesn't know if he has a way to get out of being tied up.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to be a good assassin and take care of business and then move forward.
Same thing as with Seder, just the quick, painless shoot.
Yeah.
And you're gone. All right. He's incapacitated. He has no way to resist. You just do it perfectly.
All right.
All right. You know which direction you were going. You can advance forwards that way.
Yeah.
But you don't know. You don't see any real. Actually, it's been that long without them. You could make a survival check for me.
Okay. She could. She
to
might
see
also
if you
check
can see the scuff marks and the dust on the floor.
survival.
Track anything like that.
Survival's at a +1 again. Seriously, all Tucker skills. Oh, but that's a 17.
All right.
An actual decent roll.
So you are actually able to discern little bits of little disturbance in like the dust, and they're not exactly tracks, but you can tell, you can see where people were hurrying along and follow roughly the direction and turns they went. So you can do that. Would you like to go fast, slow, or steady?
Steady.
All right, you're going steady. So for that, I would like you to make a perception check for me.
Of course. That's 15.
15. Okay. As you are moving along, you are able to hear some sounds, some whispers. You hear the scuffle, like the shuffle of feet. You hear kind of quick movement trying to be quiet. And you hear a steady kind of whoosh of air. Your kind of connection with air lets you know that this is definitely a creature's breath, not air moving through something.
That's not good.
It's definitely
All right.
that kind of thing. It sounds like something big, and it's in the direction you are heading. The feet sound like they are slowing down as you're getting close to this. Would you like to speed up to try and catch? Would you like to slow down and listen more closely? Or would you like to keep going steadily?
I'm going to slow down.
Okay, you're going to slow down. What do you want to do as you're advancing?
I'm trying to keep to the shadows. So because when a client, even if they're a client, if they take a swing at me, all bets are off.
Client-employer privilege is kind of broken at that point.
Yeah. Also, they try to ditch me without paying, so.
Oh yeah, I hadn't even thought about that part.
Yeah.
It's an even bigger insult to Kaana right there.
Yeah.
She did work, and she's not getting paid.
And
they didn't pay her in town.
And attempted murder. So
yeah, but they didn't even pay her.
Yeah, they're past the 3 strikes.
At least they should have killed her and taken the money back.
Yeah.
Come on.
They're past 3 strikes with her.
Amateur killers.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so with that means you're going to be able to have a surprise round as you come into a big open circular chamber, and there is a large stone serpent up on the dais, and the remaining guard and the leader are kind of laying prone, prostrating themselves on the ground right underneath this large stone serpent. The breathing sound you were hearing before is clearly coming out of the serpent, and as you're getting closer, you're hearing actually kind of a hissing, very quiet hissing whisper.
Okay.
I have a name for the place I was thinking of doing this at. This? No, not there. Not there. Yes, over here. So that's going to be... there it is. Never mind. So you hear this voice telling these two creatures, the two guys beneath, it says to pry out the gems from my eyes. Plant one within the dead lands far to the west, and swallow the other, and then bring the bodies of the fallen to the dead land, and watch as they grow. Once my great tower has grown large enough, consume my other eye, and rest and wait for me to join you.
Oh, they're not aware of Kaana being there, right?
No.
She's gonna take an arrow shot at the other guard.
At the guard?
Yeah.
Okay. Make an attack roll with advantage.
Okay.
Wait, did I say to the west? I meant to the east. Man, my sense of direction is so bad.
Alright. So 12 plus 5 is a 17.
All right, that will hit. You get sneak attack on this.
So that's 3d6. You see why sneak attackers like to go with the bow.
It's nice.
5, 6, 2. That is 11 plus 3 is 14. And I hope he hasn't been healed yet.
Well, this is the guy that didn't get hurt.
Oh,
You took out the guy who'd gotten hurt.
right.
Yeah. All right.
Now how does he bleed?
Down here. Guy 2. You said 14 damage?
Yes.
There we go. All right, that is a big hit. Oh, and actually, you get your assassinate on this actually, because it is a surprise round. So I think you get advantage on anything that hasn't moved yet, and any hits you get in the first round are automatically crits.
Nice.
So actually, roll all 3 of those d6 again and add them to your 14.
Jeez. Oh, that's not as nice. That is 7 extra damage.
That's still pretty nice.
21 damage total.
That's
Yeah.
21 damage in one round in your first round.
Yeah.
And they didn't even know you're there yet. Alright, so that was a incredible shot. You hit him directly in the neck, and it goes full plumb through and pins into the ground. So he is pinned by his throat into the earth beneath this statue. The leader is still enthralled, listening to the snake creature above him, and the snake creature whispers directly to you, giving the same message, saying, "Bring my eye to the dead lands in the east. Bury it there, plant and bring the dead to me. Once they've grown large enough, consume it and wait for me within." And it's all got a very serpentine hiss as he's saying it. Now the guard shouts out, crying a strange hissing name that you don't recognize, saying that the blue one has come back. She's trying to kill us. She's trying to kill our lord. Help me. And
how'd they know I was blue? Oh, it's
makeup kind of smeared off during the
Yeah.
battle.
fair enough.
So now it is time to roll initiative.
Okay.
Where did my
Come
there's
on, my dice are warming up tonight. Don't fail me now.
Oh my god.
I got a 7.
Got a 1.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's a little bit better. And Yeah, that's how I was going to do that guy. All right.
I need to get to level 5 as fast as I can get Uncanny Dodge.
It's useful.
Mm.
All right, so you are actually able to go first again.
Oh,
They did not roll very well.
nice. But they're not surprised anymore, so Assassinate wouldn't work again.
No longer now. It really is just that one first round.
One
It
shot,
makes-
it's
It
the
makes
one
for
shot, one
what
kill.
seems like an incredible time, but then it's like, oh, after this I'm just a rogue.
Right. Okay, so yeah, Kaana's gonna try and finish off Mr. Guard if she can. So
All right, she's going to take another shot.
yeah, she's down to 17 arrows now, I think.
Yeah, she hasn't taken too many shots. And you're approximately 15 feet away or so. Like the circular chamber is 15-foot radius. They're in the middle of it.
Roll. I'm going to attack. That's short bow. That's a 9.
9 total.
Yeah.
Alright, you are not able to hit. Wait. Take advantage on that because he is pinned down, actually.
Oh,
Yeah, your first shot was so good it pinned him by the throat to the floor.
okay. I'll just roll a second.
Yeah.
That's a 10. Only one better than the last one.
Alright. Well, that is just barely not enough.
Mm-hmm.
Your shot goes wide.
I guess she'd be a little freaked out that this guy is still able to attack even though he's got an arrow through his throat.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he just shouted out for help after getting pinned down to the ground
Yeah.
by like a silencing shot. How does that one go? Yep. Okay. So the leader, now kind of roused from his strange kind of prayer state, kind of stands up, very serpentine fashion, and opens up. He pulls up his visor slightly and opens his mouth unnaturally wide and spews out a mist of poison towards you. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy, con saves are not. Oh, actually, I have a decent con save.
Yeah, you got good con for a rogue.
Yeah. Well, that's her Genasi heritage.
Mhm.
Actually, that's one of the things they get a boost in. Not 20.
All right, you effortlessly just stand there, resolute. Don't take a breath. It wafts past you,
Oh yeah, she does have
and
endless breath.
yeah, and you have no trouble at all with it. It just goes right by you. You like close up your eyes for a second, open them up. Poison doesn't hurt you at all.
All right.
All right. The second guy uses his turn to rip the arrow out of his throat, spilling more blood down onto the ground, and uses his move action to stand up and stumble over towards you. It is now your turn again.
Okay. Kana's going to put away her short bow and take out her daggers.
Okay.
And she is going to attack the guard with the silver,
Okay.
or with the cold iron dagger.
Gotcha.
That is a 14 plus 5 is a 19.
All right, that will hit.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll that damage.
That is a 2 plus 3 plus 1. So
All
6
right.
damage.
So that is 6 damage.
How much HP does this guy have?
He is very heavily harmed. He seems to be quite bloodied. His throat is gushing. You've opened up a big wide gash across his chest that is now bleeding. His exposed flesh that you can see from like the big cuts is paler than even the other guy's was, and that other guy has lost a lot of blood. So you think he is going to be going down pretty soon.
Okay. In that case, she's going to follow up with a offhand attack.
Okay. Go ahead and make your roll.
That's a 15.
That will hit.
That is a 4.
That's
Max
a
damage.
4. All right. All right. He is still on his feet, but he is bleeding heavily and looks to be doing very unwell.
I only get one bonus action, right? The
Yes,
cunning
just one.
the cunning action doesn't apply.
Yeah,
as an extra
the way
bonus.
they wrote it is a little confusing. It says like you gain a bonus action to use as blah 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 blah. Just means you gain the ability to use a bonus action to do that stuff.
Okay.
You get one of each of the kinds of actions basically.
Right.
And one free object interaction per turn. So that's like putting away a bow or pulling out a weapon or something like that is your one free action. Yes, okay. So the leader hisses out a name, and cries out for the glory of Ignobilis.
Mm-hmm.
He's really dedicated to this Ignobilis guy. And he pulls out a kind of a wiggly sort of rod and points it towards you and intones a few
She has a
choice
boyfriend. This is
hissing
kind of.
words of power.
She has a boyfriend. She doesn't need to see another guy's rod.
Especially not one as curvy and impressive as this one.
Yeah. Well, no, it must be kind of. That's kind of weird.
See, now I'm really tempted to have this shoot out magical gobs of goo.
Yeah.
But I'm not that immature. So
Yeah. It's not a web wand.
So instead it shoots out 2 vicious green bolts of energy.
Neat.
And they snake forward and strike you. At the moment of impact, you see that they are actual little magical snakes, and they open their mouths and bite into you.
Okay.
And you take 8 points of damage.
Dang. This could be bad.
How much are you down to?
8.
All right. And now, now at the very end of the round, poison emanates out from the large snake statue, and everybody has to make a strength save versus inhaling this poison.
Can't you just use her unending breath?
You could use your undying breath and not have to inhale.
Yes.
Alright, so don't make a save.
Okay.
There we go. Alright, that's a good
Okay.
use of that ribbon ability.
Yes.
Alright, now, where did that other die I had go? Oh well, I'll roll twice. Leader first. Alright, he saves. And Guy second. He gets boned. Alright, so not only have all your slices and strikes on this guy, as well as him roughly pulling the arrow out of his neck to escape the ground that you pinned him to, not only does he take 4 points of damage from bleeding out, he also inhales a large gasp of poison and takes 12 points of poison damage. You can see him clawing at his face and eyes as he's inhaling this poison, and he falls down to the ground, dead. Now it is back to your turn. The poison clears out of the theater.
Okay.
Clears out of the circular area.
And this area is well lit.
It is still dimly lit, so 20 feet away is as far as you can see well.
And I'm 20 feet away from him, right?
You are currently...
No, I'm looking.
you advanced a little bit, so you are about 10 feet away from him.
Okay. I'm going to...
It would be like 10 feet to get back into the hallway, 10 feet to get right up next to him, 20 feet to make it all the way across. to the other side.
Okay. I'm just trying to think about how I can actually get in hiding, because I don't like the idea of taking down one of those energy blasts.
Well, you can. There is the big stone dais in the middle where the snake statue is standing upon. There are a few wooden seats, like at the edge of the circle, and along the ceiling is that like glowing fungus. There are occasional stalactites and stalagmites. There's one big enough on the ceiling that you could hide behind on the far side of the circular room, and there's two kind of in a north-south position that you could hide behind on the ground.
Okay, yeah. So Kaana's going to shift out of normal sight range.
Okay.
And she's going to attempt to hide.
Okay. So make a stealth roll, and which of those locations are you going for?
The stalagmites.
Okay, so you're going for the grounded ones.
Yeah.
Remember, kids, if it has a G, it's on the ground. If it has a C, it's on the ceiling.
13 plus 7.
Alright. That is pretty darn good hiding. The leader looks around. Did you do anything to distract him? Or to kind of call his attention away as you were slipping away? Or did you just kind of dart away and hope you did it fast enough?
Shoot, I should have shot him first, shouldn't I? But, lesson learned. I hopefully not to kind of
about how you wanted to do it.
It would have been just her trying to dart away. She
Okay.
didn't want to give him an opportunity to shoot off another blast.
Let me see. So there's that. Alright. He looks about and kind of peers forwards, trying to see around the area. But he does not. His eyes like sweep over top of you. He does not seem to see you. He kind of rushes over to. He moves over to his ally's fallen body and drags it over into the center of the room, right underneath the snake body, and he is starting to pick it up. He's going to do something with it. You don't know what yet, and you're not sure what could happen with it. Now it is the end of the round, and the snake releases its venomous gas again off into the room.
Find any breath? What?
Let's see how our leader does with resisting this breath. Ooh, he does not manage to resist this breath.
I was gonna say,
He sucks
for
up
spellcast,
a big bunch of poisonous gas.
for spellcaster, he has decent strength if he survived the first one.
Oh yeah, and I mean this time he's trying to pick up a big heavy guy who's totally limp. Have you ever tried to pick up a totally limp-bodied adult male person?
I have once, and the guy was just being a jerk.
It sucks, right? They're
Yeah.
so heavy.
Yeah,
It's so much harder than someone who's actively trying to be picked up.
yeah.
So he's occupied. He's breathing hard. He gasps in and collapses down onto his knee, still holding the guy. He seems to be in very poor shape.
Well, this would be just a horrible time for somebody to shoot him in the back with an arrow.
It truly would be terrible.
Yes.
Even worse if he didn't know where they were coming from,
Exactly.
and they were able to shoot him very well. All right, go right ahead.
All right. So I'm going to sneak attack from right within range where I can actually see him.
Okay, so you're gonna kind of like creep forwards a little bit
Yeah.
and then shoot.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Advantage, right?
Yes.
8 or a 15. I will take the 15, thank you.
All right.
So
Are you
15.
sure about that?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So 15, that's 20 in total to hit.
All right. That will be a hit.
And so that's sneak attack, so that's 3d6. That is a grand total of 8 damage plus 3, so 11 damage.
11 damage, alright. That is just enough to strike down our leader.
Alright.
He falls down to the ground. Would you like to describe how he dies?
He went to one knee, right, to...
Yes, he's holding up the body of his ally
So...
down on a knee.
I've got a horrible pun to go with this.
Please.
Oh, okay. So... He used to be an adventurer like Kaana, but then he took an arrow to the knee, and then, as he took the arrow to the knee, his dead partner fell on top of him and dug the arrow in further.
Yeah.
And then, as the poison is released, he just died. He's unable to actually get out, and as he's exerting himself, the poison is just spewing into his mouth because he's trying to breathe in to get enough strength to push the body off. So he's just going to die slowly to the poison of his god.
Oh, Lord. Oh, that's terrible.
Meanwhile, Kana's just going to walk up slowly, and once the poison breath dissipates, she's just going to say, "You should have just given me the money." And he can just have his death rattle, and then she's going to loot the bodies, and also going to take those gems in its eyes, because those sound like good compensation.
So as you try to take the gems, the voice once again asks you to... It gives you its quest, it gives you its request, it says its thing. You feel pretty... As you're getting up close to it, you can tell there's something trapped inside of this. Are you sure you want to touch those gems?
A little bit more dubious at that, so maybe not. But she's definitely going to bring that up to Tucker later.
Okay, so you're gonna leave the gems in the eyes, but you might come back for them later.
If Tucker thinks that it's a safe idea, because last thing that, once again, Genasi bloodline, she's aware that there are powers far greater than anything she can handle. And also she doesn't want to tempt fate when she is down. She is quite hurt herself.
Okay. All right.
So she's just going to grab what commission because she's not leaving here empty-handed.
Yeah. She's going to pick up the
She
100
bled for
gold
this-
that they were going to pay her.
She bled for that money.
Yeah. They've got a money pouch on them. The statue stops. It stops spewing out the gas. It seems like the leader was doing something to make it do that. Like he was channeling some power towards it.
Maybe calling out the name.
But it's no longer doing that. You have plenty of time to kind of search through the place, search their bodies.
Okay.
The leader has a much more serpentine aspect to him. Kaana does not know what he is, but she's heard kind of myths about these kinds of creatures and snake-like entities that have existed before. And the giant statue of a snake definitely makes her remember children's tales about the Naga. These giant snake creatures that and the strange snake men that would dream to turn into them. There was some kind of mystical ritual where one of them could grow larger and turn into a Naga, but that's just a children's story that she heard when she was young. But it's something she could investigate if she chose to, or if they would be interested in. She can collect the robes, but at this point they're all pretty tattered and kind of poisoned and gross from all that stuff. But you do pick up 100 gold in a pouch. That was... They had shown you this was your money, this was your compensation for doing this job. They said they were going to give it to you after you completed the job. After you open up, it's all there, it's all legit.
Cool.
Nothing to worry about. And you get that string that you pick up that curvy wand sort of
I
thing.
was going to say, she's definitely got to grab that.
Rod. But you don't get how it works.
Yeah.
It seems to require a certain kind of power.
Man, if I ever get a spellcaster in my party besides Tucker, then they are going to be mad equipped.
Roll me 2d4.
If I get max damage on this.
No, it's not damage.
Okay, it's a 3 and a 1.
Alright, there we go. So there's that one. So that's part of that stuff now. There doesn't seem to be anything else. At one point, you can tell this actually was at one point a holy site of some sort. Does not seem to have been does not seem to have been actively used by Ignobilis. But that makes perfect sense. Of course Ignobilis would throw up their holy sign on a site that they don't actually use. That's just what they would do.
All right.
And then they would probably meet there in secret where no one would know they're there.
Right.
Just to mess with people even further. But you see lots of that kind of foresty looking magic. It seems like some kind of force was trying to seal the Naga within here, seal that snake creature in here, and those serpentine folks were trying to come release it, come do something with it. Luckily, you were able to stop them and keep them from doing it. There are more areas you could plumb in this kind of dungeon place. When you kind of sit down quietly and focus on the air moving through, you can feel kind of some deeper currents going down, and some places where you can feel like kind of the air moves, so something must be down here somewhere. It is up to you whether or not you'd like to kind of explore into those areas, or if you'd like to leave those, kind of come back later.
Kaana's not. She would rather tend to a wound. She would rather come down with the full party than try and adventure this alone. Because she had a mission. She took care of it. Better to get back and get herself healed up.
All right. So I assume then you retrace your steps.
She's going to check also to make sure that the body's still there that she left in the corridors.
Yes, the body's still there. Oof. None of them have disappeared.
Okay, good. That blood coagulation still has her spooked.
Yeah. It is very strange, though. He has completely scabbed over. And are you going to examine it more closely? Like, are you just going to check that it's there, or are you going to really, look at it?
I'm going to make sure he doesn't stir or anything. She's going to...
Poke him with the stick?
Yes.
Take out her 10-foot pole?
More like her bow.
Okay, unstring it at that maximum distance?
Yeah.
Gently give him a little poke in the cheek?
Yeah.
Alright.
Oh, that's where that was.
This is gonna be interesting. How hard are you doing it? It's a dead body. You can do it pretty hard if you want, but are you just kind of giving it a little, just enough to move the face, or are you really whacking it?
Enough to move the face. She's checking to see if he actually reacts to being touched, because this whole description, it sounds like something undead to her.
Yeah. There is no reaction. You poke him and prod him, you lift up his head a little bit, and it flops down. Just total dead weight. Which it lines up, kinda, again, with her expertise of being a killer, she knows how bodies are once they're dead. And it lines up with how a body is. It doesn't hit rigor mortis really quickly. It should still be kind of limp and floppy. But the thing is, a body also can be limp and floppy after it's gone into rigor mortis, and then been there for a long time.
Mm.
So it could be limp and floppy before or after. So she thinks this makes sense. That's still weird, but this could be totally normal. Or it could be exceptionally not normal. Does she want to continue to investigate this body?
At this point, I think she just wants to cleanly remove the head from its shoulders.
Okay, you can do that.
Yeah.
You're gonna do that?
Yeah.
All right.
I just don't want to pursue
What are you
her.
gonna do with the head?
Wrap it up and take it back for investigation.
Ooh.
Tucker has enough medical knowledge and general nature knowledge that he could probably actually identify what it is. Because last thing she wants is to have left behind two bodies that could reanimate, and she's too careful to actually let anything get her in her sleep.
All right.
Worst of all would be if it got Kale along with her while she was in her sleep. She wouldn't want that. She doesn't want things coming back to haunt her boyfriend and her best friend.
All right. After you have done that, so what are you wrapping it up with? I assume you're using a knives or like a machete, some sort of
Knives
thing to cut it off.
Yeah.
So
I'm just
that'll
going
be
to poke
some-
at it with my rapier until it comes off.
Yeah, just give just like a really nice thrust through.
Yeah,
Kind of like how in Underworld they like shoot through the floor
exactly.
until the floor falls down, but use a rapier.
Yeah.
Just like stab through the neck until it comes off.
Yep.
Take like 45 minutes to do it.
Yeah.
All
Let's stick with the knives.
You like
Or the
saw it
daggers.
off with the knives. It's still weird. It's doing something weird. What are you wrapping it up in? Remember, this guy also was wearing robes. You can
let's
tear
wrap
off
it up in the
robes
robes.
and do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not weird. Stripping off a guy's... Yeah. Dear God. I'm normalizing this, but this is a really weird scene. She's tearing off this guy's clothes to wrap his severed head in them.
She has a reason to suspect something bad might come of it.
Right.
And she is a hardened killer. Yeah, she usually kills for good reasons and is a sometimes good person, I would say.
She's good when she's off the job.
Exactly. All right.
It's like Wolverine. She's the best at what she does, and what she does is not very nice. Doesn't make her, it doesn't mean that she can't be personable outside of combat. And again, I guess Wolverine's definition of personable is a little loose.
There we go.
Especially when he's Old Man Logan.
All right. So you do that, and you... Let me check something. All right. As you're doing this, you notice that his sword emanates a strange kind of feeling to it. It seems special. You can't put it at, your feeling is just vague enough. You don't really know you don't know how to put it other than that. Do you want to take it along with you as well?
Let's just say that Kaana hears coins clinking in her head.
Okay.
The extra
So
cash.
she was like already
Cha-ching.
picking it up. She's like, well, I
Yeah.
can sell this for a couple. And it's like, ooh, this is nice.
And now she's thinking that she might have a present
Let's
for
keep
Kale.
that.
Yeah.
All right. So I gotta make that now. So now she's gonna head up. She's leaving the cave system. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So she's going back out. Does she want to collect from like the cabin they were in? Does she want to go check out the bodies of the satyrs?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got the...
Also, any arrows that she can get back from the corpses, she'll definitely grab those.
How many shot? Let's see. You fired 1, 2, 3 down... No. 1, 2 down there. And then
One at the bear.
Up at...
One at the bear, one at the satyr, so 4 in total,
So
I
4
think.
total, yeah. Alright, so take back 2 arrows.
Cool.
Yeah. just for future reference, anytime after a battle, if you have time to scour the field, you always get back half the arrows you shot.
Okay, cool.
If you want to do like some training or something during downtime to learn how to make better arrows or how to take better care of arrows, you could probably up that number.
Cool.
But so you spend some time around the house. I'd like you to make a investigation check for the house.
Investigation is at +2. So that's a 4.
All right. By those.
Aw. I hate missing out on loot.
Don't worry. You have stuff you might come back here for.
True. Definitely stuff to investigate. And I'm guessing Tucker...
Kaana thinks she did a pretty good job finding the house. I don't know if she would say they should look around the place.
Well, no,
but somebody might notice something.
Yeah, no, she's definitely going back because she definitely wants to discuss this with Tucker.
Oh yes, there's lots more things to do now.
Mm.
There weren't that many things to do before, but now there's more things to do here.
True.
Alright, so here are the things you find.
Woo.
Some of that you're going to have to leave behind, because Kaana is not going to be able to carry all that stuff. All of this stuff, and all the stuff she has.
She definitely grabbed the arrows.
So you have that you're going to have to find someone who can use it, and you're going to have to find some help doing it. And this is you find a vest, a leather vest on one of the satyrs, the one that was the leader satyr.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a very kind of animal feel to it. When she touches it, she kind of feels if Kaana had an animal that was her closest relative, would it be a snake, a bear, a deer, or a wolf?
I'd say between a deer or a wolf. Probably leaning more towards the wolf.
Okay.
She's a hunter.
She feels kind of like a vicious kind of growl grow up in her throat a little bit when she grabs it. So it feels very special to her.
Okay. What's the armor class on it?
It's just plain leather armor, so it's armor class 11 plus dex.
Cool.
So that shouldn't be too much better. That shouldn't be that either should be the same as what you have right now, or it should be one worse than what you have.
If it's 11 plus dex, then it's the same as what I have.
All right, yeah. So it's the same as what you have. And all right, so we need to make this. I need to make that sword, and I need to make. Actually, I don't need to make the panpipes yet.
Also, Kaana's probably going to go for the. She'll grab the arrows along with the lightest stuff that she can carry, which will probably include the 200 GP worth of silverware and the partial map.
Yes. All right.
She'll leave the other stuff for when she comes back, because she definitely wants to bring Tucker and Kale to check out the rest of the tunnels.
Nice. And for the viewers, the first thing I gave was just mundane stuff. So it's like there's a bunch of spears, there's a bunch of bows, there's a bunch of arrows, there's a bunch of blankets, there's 200 gold worth of silverware and other assorted valuables.
Kaana now has 68 arrows, though they're probably not all in her quiver.
Yeah, they come in quivers of. They were in quivers of their own. So like each one of those, I think, was a quiver of 20.
Yeah, makes sense. That's usually the max.
Though she has to find somewhere to put her 8 extra arrows. But she can figure that out.
Just overstuff one.
And she probably takes one of the blankets and like wraps everything up in it as a big rucksack.
Yeah.
Like
the cartoonish thief walking away with a gigantic sack on their back.
All right. Is there anything else we need to resolve? I need to resolve before we can head back. Maybe, but I'll have to think about it, so I'm going to say no for right now. She probably wants to rest before she goes back on the trail. She's got a good long walk ahead of her to get back home.
Yeah.
And she's pretty well hurt.
Yeah, so she'd probably take a short rest. Expend one of her hit dice, or two of her hit dice.
All right, so go ahead and roll 2
D8.
I think she's D8s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's my other D8? There it is. So that's 10 HP back. So
right,
she's up
that's
to
not
18.
so bad.
18 out of 24.
Fairly close. 3/4 full. All right, so after that, is she going to head back?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Roll me a D8 and a D12 again.
That's a 3 and a 6.
Okay, and that's a 6 on the
The
D12.
D12 and a 3 on the D8.
All right. So again, you hear a few rustling noises off in the brush as you're getting close, as you're going along like that path, same kind of path you were going on.
Mm-hmm.
But you stay still for a moment, and it wanders off away, and
Right.
nothing really comes to disturb you. You can take your time and really enjoy the scenery and atmosphere if you'd like of this beautiful part of the woods, or you can hurry and get back home a little faster.
She's wanting to get back home. That'd be more Tucker's thing to stay and enjoy the scenery.
All right, so give me another D8 roll.
That's a 1.
All right, so it's pretty uneventful. You're just kind of bustling home. You feel awkward and heavy with all of this stuff in this big sack,
Yeah.
but you're also kind of excited. You've got a cool new thing you've got like this very nice sword. You think Kale will enjoy it. He's the kind of guy who likes those sorts of real practical good things. You've got dollar signs in your eyes. Your business venture you're trying to start up is going to have a big boon from having gotten 300 gold, basically, from this, along with whatever else you can get for all that other stuff, and whatever else is down there. You've got lots more work to do, and you've got some news. You're a little bit not excited to talk to Tukra about what's going on, because you've got this weird snake guy head that is doing weird things, and you're not comfortable with, and you had a kind of like children's fairy tale snake god
Mm-hmm.
down underneath this place, and you could tell there were more things down there. And if you remember, when you were up on the deck, you saw that circle of chairs, and there were 5 chairs that had been used often. You only saw 2 satyr.
Yeah.
So there's 3 more creatures that are going to come back and find 2 of their friends dead, their pet bear dead, some dead guys down in this tomb that they were protecting and had a seal on, and it's broken. So something's going to happen when they come back.
Yeah.
But for the meantime, you got a good load. You got a very good haul out of it. And you get back to town, you find that the boys have basically done their jobs. They've got some news to talk to you about, but I think... actually, do we want to go over what they got, or do we want to save that for next time?
Well, I was going to say that, our normal thing is to have them come back and tell the tale in the tavern, but Kaana's not really about that. Instead, she's just going to...
And I mean, the tale's not quite done yet.
True.
It might not be done until Kale goes out and is able to tell his nice story along with his silver tongue.
True. But she's going to need Kale for something else at the moment. As soon as she gets back, Kale's like, how'd it go? She just walks, grabs him by the collar and just drags him to their room. Yeah. She just had a near-death experience and basically...
She's got to reaffirm her life a little bit.
Yeah.
All right.
So
I'm down for that.
And Kale's just... Well, he's not even blushing. He's just grinning.
He's like, oh, I know what's happening. I'm going along with it.
Yes.
Tucker, I assume, is just going to be...
Nah,
drink his drink.
He's actually
Keep doing what he was doing.
He's actually more exasperated.
Oh, okay.
He's like, but I mean, he's shrugging along with it, but he's like, "Jeez,
God,
It's
Come on.
it's 3 in the afternoon. Come on.
Come on. Everyone knows you wait until 8 o'clock at night for that.
Yep. So yeah, but
All right.
but actually, she would relay it to Kale, and Kale would come out and regale everybody with the story.
So he would tell them about the...
Though he would really emphasize the fact that they tried to kill her first, so that doesn't look like because he tries to watch out for Kaana, make sure that
he paints it in the best light for her possible.
Yeah, that she was betrayed, and is also maybe he would also gloss over the fact that she took no. I mean they know everybody knows what adventurers do when they beat somebody. They got to go for the gold. Yeah. That's how they make their living.
Maybe he doesn't even talk about how she went with this group of people to go do this thing. Maybe he talks about he does like the ancient Naga legend, like the how they become real, how the snake people turned into these giant snake monsters.
Yeah.
And then
he might actually do that. Try and
blows
focus
that
on
up and tells how Kaana stopped the ritual from happening or something.
Yeah. And he's also actually going to gloss over. Well, he'll mention the satyrs, but he won't actually mention that they might have been the guardians. Though
he kind of he tries to make it like she was tricked by the snake guys, and they all snuck into the temple rather than killed their way into the temple.
Yeah, though Tukra, once they mention if they mention the satyrs, Tukra is going to look a bit concerned because he knows
exactly what they are. They were members of the Glimmer Fae household.
Yeah.
So there's the Shadow Fae, which are the plant Fae, and the Glimmer Fae, which are the animal Fae.
Yeah. But yeah, so that is the closing of the Sacred Shrine.
Yeah. So let's see. We said what mundane things you got.
Yep. We got the Glimmer Fae vest, and we
haven't talked about the Glimmer Fae vest.
Yeah. Also the Serpentine Rod.
Yeah. Which is basically just a slightly worse rod of magic missile.
Yeah.
It only fires 2 instead of 3 shots.
But they're also poison.
But they are poison, which is nice. And currently it has 4 charges, and it actually loses charges where you roll 1d4 every morning, and it can actually lose charges. It's 1d4 minus 2, so if you get 2 or if you get 1, you lose 1 charge on it each morning. But you'll gain up to 4 charges on it.
Okay.
Like 4 is its max, and it'll regain charges if you roll a 3 or a 4.
Okay.
In the morning.
If I don't expend them the day before.
Well, if it ever gets to 0 charges, it actually will stop working. Oh. It'll run out of magic. But say you use 1 charge, then the next morning you would roll 1d4, subtract 2, and then add the resulting number to your number of charges. So if you get a 1, it'll go down to 2 charges. If you get a 2, it'll stay at 3 charges. If you get a 3, it'll go up to 4 charges again. If you get a 4, it'll also only go up to 4 charges. Like 4 is its upper limit.
Okay.
The Glimmer Fae vest is a pretty cool item, I think. It's a suit of magical leather armor. It requires attunement, but it taps into your animalistic side. It gives you a choice of 1 of 4 different kind of animal options, and you choose which one you want at the end of a long rest, as long as you were wearing it throughout that whole long rest. You have your keen senses, which gives you advantage on perception checks, relying on the sense of smell, hearing, or touch.
I think Kaana might need that.
Well, it's only on smell, hearing, or touch, so it's got to be using just one of those senses. It's like if she hunkers down and just focuses on her ears, she'll get bat-like hearing from it and get advantage on the check. Or if she's trying to smell somebody or feel some odd thing. It's got long strides, which adds 5 to your speed. And that's all speeds you have. So if you have like a fly speed, you would gain 5 feet to it. If you have your walking speed gains 5 feet, your swimming speed gains 5 feet. It's got thick hide, which just turns it into leather armor +1.
Okay. So
that's just better AC. And slippery scales gives you advantage on any checks to escape a grapple or any kind of restraints. And you can switch those out reattune yourself to it at the end of every long rest.
Interesting. That could be useful to either Tucker or Kaana.
And I need to come up with what the sword is going to do, and what was the other thing I was thinking?
Well, an investigation of the severed head.
Ah, yes, the sword and what the head is going to be.
I am curious to find out exactly what that guy is. I have my suspicions.
It's gonna be fun. I did not expect we were gonna do as much with this place as we did. I didn't think this was gonna be a two-parter, but it looks like it's gonna be a good two-parter.
Awesome. Maybe with a little goblin hunting thrown in there in the second half.
That might be a nice little side quest, a quick little combat thing we can do at the start. Yeah.
Yeah. Just so they can actually start establishing themselves.
All right. Well, that was a good one.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone. As always, we appreciate your views and your listening. Please tune in for part 2 of the Sacred Shrine, and we will see you all next time.
Have a good night, y'all.